thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up? It's our boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We back. True Media Today USA Boxing. We are back. Yeah, we back. And you know, man, y'all can visit my website, CoachMalachi.com. CoachMalachi.com is there. It's official. You know what I mean? You know, the boy just had some of the, you know what I mean? You know, I had some of the, you got the.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy, Rick James?
Y'all to know what time it is. Let me see where my Nick sack at. Where my trusted Nick sack in the house. You know what I mean? You know, I sit back, man, and, you know, I've been strolling these YouTube, you know, I normally don't stroll the YouTube streets. I used to, then I stopped. I'm back strolling the YouTube streets again. There's a whole lot of going on out there, man. A whole lot of going on, man. You know what I mean? Yesterday's friends have became today's enemies. You know what I mean? Yesterday's friends are now today's enemies. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to Mr. Golden. Shout out to Little Green Eyes P. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Hot Rod. What's going on? Hot Rod? Steven 47, what's going on? Knockdown 305, Dade County's finest. Shout out to my sister, man, the lovely Anna Lee. What's going on, sis? Hey, you know what? Yesterday's friends have become today's enemies. You know, I just sit back and, you know, I'm sitting back watching this whole thing unfold, right? Shout out to Cyrus. This is Rob. Swat Jones, what's going on, baby boy? Haleen, what's going on? Jamario, what's happening? And my sister, the lovely Lisa Bells. Anyway, let's get into the show. There's some things that I've been doing a lot of reading lately. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cyrus from the Philippines stand up. Whole lot of reading lately, you know. And there's a lot of stuff that John Doe, what up, Doe? There's a lot of stuff that people thought was cap or they did not want to believe because, you know, a lot of these guys, as I said before, these guys are friends. These guys are friends of promotional companies. They're friends of networks. These guys are friends of promotional companies and friends of networks. Hold on. Hey, hey, Adrian, why did you time out Haleen? Don't time out Haleen. Yeah, don't time out Haleen, man. Haleen been with me. Haleen been with me from day one. Don't time out Haleen, fam. I don't know what's going on, but y'all don't time out Haleen. Anyways, yeah. So, you know, and I always tell you guys, if you stay on the side of boxing, you will never go wrong. If you stay on the side of boxing, you'll never go wrong. Now, where am I going at with this show today? I'm going all over the place, but it's all coming back to the same thing. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to OD Loke, man. Y'all go check out my main man, OD Loke TV, man. Y'all go over to his channel and subscribe. OD Loke TV, man. Y'all go check him out, man. I'm checking this show out today as well. Anyways, we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. Showtime may be leaving boxing. Coach, you lying, man. You making stuff up. You always making stuff up. You've been listening to what I had to do tell me, oh man, this cap. You listen to the Fred Barbershop Conversations. It's okay. Cap, huh? It's cap. Okay. Will this impact the big fish and the PBC? We're gonna find out, right? Another question I have is, why they turned on blue? Let's get into the show. Give everybody a round of applause. Well, they turned, oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But let's get into the show. Errol Spence Keith Thurman have been mandated, as you guys know, by Mauricio Sulaiman since last November, right? And now this fight is expected to go down as planned in April, May, or June. We don't know. Whole lot of, it's going to happen in April. It's going to happen in May. It's going to happen in June. It was supposed to happen in February. Whole lot of stuff in limbo right now. But since then, some bad news has surfaced. Or maybe it's good news. I don't know. You know what I mean? About Showtime being merged with their parent company, Paramount. Headlines emerged from the deadline that reads this. And I have this also on Let's see. It's on Bloomberg. I read Bloomberg pretty much probably like 2 or 3 times a week. Bloomberg, Boxing News 24, Loss of Remotes, etc., etc., etc. Whole bunch of other stuff. So I want to show several different, receipts, because I don't want nobody thinking that, oh man, you just believe in a YouTube channel. Nah, I don't really take a lot of information I just get from YouTube channels, because I know YouTube channels online, they do a lot of clickbait. You know who the clickbaiters are. So I really didn't listen to them. I do my own research, right? And then I had to verify and confirm if what some of these dudes are saying is true. You know what I mean? But we're going to save that show for another day. Now, this is the headlines. It says Showtime shocker, linear network rebrands as Paramount with Showtime, move comes amid streaming integration. Cancellations and potential layoffs. Showtime will no longer be a standalone brand. Standalone meaning they just buy themselves Showtime. You know what I mean? But that's not going to be the case anymore. That's going to be over. You know what I mean? That's history now. You're gonna find out very soon. Paramount Global revealed Monday that the company is rebranding the premium cable network as Paramount Plus with Showtime as part of a wide range of change that also brings the two brands together in the streaming world. If this happens, and it will, how would this affect Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight? As a matter of fact, how would this affect Ryan Garcia Tank Davis potential fight? How would this affect anyone that's boxing on the PBC, since those guys primarily box where? On Showtime. How would this affect them? Let's read the article and break it down so we can see exactly what's going on. You get what I'm saying? And let's go from there. Now, I want to show you guys something. I don't give a damn about networks myself, but we've seen this happen with HBO. HBO, man, it seems like boxing ain't been the same since HBO left the game. HBO was around 40 years, and then they saw the writing on the wall, and I think HBO went out of business. Well, not out of business. They still around. They don't do boxing anymore. HBO Sports was around 40 years, and HBO Sports went out the game. They stopped covering boxing. I think they stopped 2018. So that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken, right? It is what it is, right? So let's go over here. I want to show you guys something. I don't want nobody thinking I got this from Deuce. Deuce say Fred Bob's Conversations. Okay, all right, Fred Bob's Conversations. All right. This is gonna be very easy to debunk. Let's see. When did this article come out? Oh, September the 15th. Let's go back here. Let's go to September the 15th. Let's blow this up. I'm going to show you what does this have to do with the PBC. What does this have to do with boxing? It ain't really got nothing to do with boxing, really. But what does this have to do with the PBC? This is for all you guys who are promotional fans of promotional companies. We know that a lot of these guys on YouTube, they are PBC fans. We know that, right? And so I just want to, let them know what's going on. You know what I mean? I know they're not fans of boxing, they're fans of networks. And they're fans of Showtime as well. So you guys who are fans of Showtime and PBC, this is for you. Now, Paramount considers folding Showtime into Paramount. Folding. You know what I mean? It is what it is. This is on the Insider Intelligence. Now, this was September the 15th, 2022. They spoke about this. It said there's another streaming brand merger entering the mix. Paramount is considering shutting down Showtime's standalone service and moving its content into Paramount Plus, per the Wall Street Journal. So this is on Wall Street Journal as well. So this ain't no Fred Barbershop Conversations. This ain't no people hating on the PBC. This is coming directly from the white man himself. True. A next step, ever since its landmark merger with Viacom CBS, Paramount has slowly been moving to combine its streaming offerings under one umbrella. It say last month, now this is September, just last month, Paramount began streaming Showtime content to the Paramount Plus app. Remember these guys were saying, look here, man, ain't nobody watch no app. Remember Leonard Ellerby said, man, don't nobody watch no app. The Zone ain't don't nobody watch no app. The Zone is an app. Ain't nobody watching that. Yada, 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 blah, blah, squaze. Guess what? ESPN Plus is an app. Don't you watch fights on ESPN Plus? You niggas gonna be watching, you're gonna be watching some of these fights, or maybe you won't, on apps now. This for all you anti-apps guys. This what's going on, right? Let's continue. So they already started merging some of the stuff, Showtime moving their content over there, right? It say in the namesake of streaming service was also at the heart of a recent deal with Walmart. In Walmart's press release announcing the partnership, Showtime wasn't mentioned once. Paramount Plus will also become the home of all of Paramount's theatrical releases beginning in 2024. Now, they was talking about this back then, and it said that Paramount, it said while Paramount doesn't divulge subscriber numbers for Showtime, the Journal, Wall Street Journal, reports that subscriptions have tripled over the last 3 years. Now, the subscriptions have tripled over the last 3 years with Paramount. This is true. Now, this is back in September. This is back in September. Let's go here. Today is January. Well, this is January 25th. 3 months later, let's go right here. And we're going to tie it in a nice little bow. I'm going to run through this real quick. Want you to see this yourself. Paramount Global reportedly considering filing Showtime's channel with Paramount. Filling Showtime's channel with Paramount Plus programming. It's already being done as we speak. So now, Wall Street Journal is pretty much saying the same thing. It talked about it in September. Now it's being done as we speak. What does this have to do with boxing, Coach? What does this have to do with boxing? Let's go to Bloomberg. Paramount considering merging Showtime with its Paramount services. Showtime, a premium cable network TV, a premium cable TV channel that homes the shows like the finance. It say like the fiance. What did it say? Oh, the finance drama Billions. Yeah, I watched Billions before. That's a good show. And Yellow Jackets, about a girls soccer team, has an online service that's available for $11 a month. Paramount, which includes movies and shows from channels including CBS, Comedy Central, and Nickelodeon, starting at $5 a month, and ad-supported version, right? For an ad-supported version. So what they're doing here, they're going to merge all this stuff into one big bundle. They're thinking about if they merge Showtime with Paramount, I don't know if they're going to phase it out and it just won't be Showtime anymore. Maybe all of it will just be Paramount. I don't know. You know what I mean? We're going to find out what's going to happen soon. I don't know. But let's go here. Now, this is very, very interesting. What made me want to talk about this today, because I went to Boxing News 24. And I'm like, why is Boxing News 24 talking about, they said boxing slow death continues. Now, you're going to find this article very, very, very interesting. Let me go ahead and get this super chat out the way. Shout out to Luis. Shout out to Luis Puente.
Hey, okay.
He said, I will leave without paying the IOUs he owes. I think what they should do, what PBC should do, is get in line, create an app. They should have a PBC app where people can get their fights. That's what they should do. You know what I mean? Because the white man on all the networks, and your pro-black Wakanda channels won't tell you that. But guess what? They got to go to the white man. I've been telling you this. But you niggas said I was a coon, all that stuff. But I'm telling you, this is what it is. This fictional world that you want to live in is not real. It's not reality. You get what I'm saying? But Boxing News, you look at Boxing News tape. Let's see what Boxing News had to say. As you can see, they got a picture of the big. Tank Crawford runs side street. Tank Crawford runs side street. Tell your nigga to be quiet. Tell your nigga to be quiet. Tell your nigga to be quiet. Anyways, boxing slow death continues. February the 1st. This is today. New article. And this article was written by Alex, right? It say, following the news that Paramount Plus will be integrating Showtime into its streaming services later this year. It remains uncertain whether Showtime will be continuing its boxing programming as a part of the merger. While it would make sense that Paramount Plus would keep boxing, as it already supports various sports, including soccer, football, college sports, and golf, among the other sports. But the thing is, all of these sports that they name are way more popular than boxing. None of these, boxing is nowhere near as popular as any of these sports. Niggas ain't buying pay-per-views. And people online, talking about 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20, all this stuff there. Ain't nobody buying nothing. Right? But let's go. At the same time, HBO several years ago opted to discontinue boxing after over 40 years of telecast, which suggests the same fate for Showtime's boxing program could be in order. This is why I'm reading this today. Because I see a boxing website talking about this, and they are very concerned about the news. For your PBC guys, PBC is, their network is what? Showtime, right? Showtime is the white company that put up the money for the black, white, and Hispanic fighters over there at the PBC, right? Giving them the budget, right? Heyman don't pay for no fights. Floyd Mayweather damn sure ain't paying for the fights. Putting the money up for the fights. They ain't putting the budget up. Let's continue. So why is a boxing website talking about this? And then look at the title. Boxing slow death continues. These dudes ain't selling these pay-per-views like they've been telling you. It's not profitable. The 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, sign the contract, take whatever we give you. You would be a fool to take whatever we give you. Now, a nigga with a net worth of 2 figures, they tell you that. Smoking on the Nick Sacker Reggie. Now, this ain't no Reggie. This that good gas right here. But that's neither here nor there. Let's continue. Phone lines will be open. Give me a minute. It say the optics of all of this would be that boxing is fading as a sport. Listen to this. And major networks are investing in other forms of entertainment and sports. Now, according to this article, the optics of all of this, what's going on right now with the merging of different apps and stuff like that, Showtime finna get phased out, finna merge on in with their parent company. It said the optics of all of this is that boxing is a fading sport. It's fading as a sport. The major networks are investing in other forms of entertainment and sports. I just had a phone call from a good brother today, and he said, listen, man, the money ain't over here. The money in boxing ain't over here in America no more. The money is overseas. I said this about 2 weeks ago. People are like, yeah, man, people want to come to America because they're gonna get their highest paydays over here. No, sir, you're thinking about back in the day. Boxing in America is not popular at all. You can look at how these dudes be arguing on YouTube and Twitter about this stuff. We gonna boycott this. We ain't doing this. We ain't doing that. These dudes ain't paying for nothing. The dudes who argue doing the most, they ain't paying for nothing. The money is in Saudi Arabia. The money's in the Middle East now. The money's in places like Japan and hell, even in the UK. America dominance on boxing as a sport, that's over with from a financial standpoint. There's only one cash cow in America. His name is Canelo Alvarez. Ain't nobody doing what Canelo doing. Everything else is chitlin circuit success. But anyways, this why you get 1.5 guaranteed. 1.5, right? Let's go. Now of course they make more money than that. Of course they make more money than that on the back end. Back end, okay. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So how do we get here? What is causing this slow death, so to speak, in boxing? This guy right here say, number one, promoters. Time and time again, promoters make fights that frustrate fans beyond belief. Rather than setting up logical fights, promoters will let fights marinate for a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years. Promoters will tell their fighters to say, you're on the wrong side of the street. You went the wrong network. You went ESPN. I went Showtime Fox. That's what promoters tell their fighters to go out there and say, right? So let's continue. The promoters is the number one cause of why boxing is dying in America. Some people say certain promoters have killed the sport of boxing. I'll leave that to you guys' interpretation of who that guy is. Time and time again, promoters make the fights that frustrate fans beyond belief. Rather than setting up logical fights, promoters will let fights marinate for years. For, let's say, force unnecessary mandatory fights and overall just get in the way of big fights. This is what's going on. I agree with this 100%. True. How does this help the fans? Fans are left watching boring and predictable fights instead. Promoters don't seem to be interested in putting on quality entertainment. It's a strange business model, as the promoters are essentially running off the fans. Let's give that guy who wrote this article a round of applause. It's the promoters. We can't get certain fights because certain guys are with the wrong networks. And then when they become a free agent, we still can't get the fight. And then if they get with another promoter of the company, we still can't get the fights. And then you got their millions online who capping for the promotion of the company. That's why I tell you guys, like, what commandment? That's commandment number 6. You know, thou shalt not derive for a promotion of the company or a network. We don't do that over here. What, I'm not supposed to like Marvin Hagler because he fought on Top Rank? But in 2023, if you fight with certain promotion of companies and you fight with certain networks and certain apps, we don't like you. Oh, I'm not supposed to like Azuma Nelson because he was with Don King Promotions? Never heard nothing like this in the history of boxing until today's times. These new niggas that's on the block that came from the LDBC, y'all some strange guys. And their affiliates, y'all some strange people, man. Very strange, very strange. Let's continue. Time and time again, promoters make the fights that frustrate fans beyond belief. Rather than setting up logical fights, promoters will let fights marinate for years, force unnecessary mandatory fights, and overall get in the way of big fights. Fans are left watching boring and predictable fights, and then guess what? They'll give you a shitty to fight, and then they'll turn around and tell you, yeah, man, they'll give you a shitty to fight, and then they'll turn around and tell you, yeah, boy, it's a good fight right here. Boy, this is a banger. Boy, this fight right here, boy. What about the top fighter for your company, like a Jamal Charlo or Errol Spence? Why don't they fight David Benavidez or Caleb Plant or fight Terrence Crawford or something like that? Oh no, we don't need to be fighting no dudes. We want to fight Sulecki. Okay, you want to fight Sulecki? You do know ain't nobody gonna buy that. Don't worry, we're gonna fight Sulecki. Sulecki pound for pound. Okay, so let's get pound for pound, okay? Shout out to JRG. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a damn dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What did you say Cash Cow in the USA is Canelo and he Mexican? Shows you the state of American boxing. Yeah, exactly. But if you listen to these dudes online, you think that these fighters, because they fighters with the PBC or with a certain network, you'll think that we're doing 300,000-400,000 pay-per-views. We're doing good. Cause y'all been listening to Dan Raphael, Fat Man Dan, who capped for his, he capped for his give me a number 12 at McDonald's. Give me a number 12. Anyway, let's continue. I totally agree with this dude right here. Let's continue. We got more. What else? Here you go right here. He said, what is it? So how do we get here? What's causing the slow death of boxing, so to speak? Number 1 is promoters. What's number 2? Pay-per-view. Lord have mercy. Y'all gonna love this one here. While promoters are forcing unwatchable fights, they are also selling these sorry matches on pay-per-view. What do we get? We got Mario Barrios versus Keith Thurman. We got King Kong Ortiz, the boogeyman of the division, who ain't fought nobody but Deontay Wilder. They putting that on pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius was on what? Pay-per-view. David Benavidez and Caleb Plant is going to be on what? Pay-per-view. So what's killing the sport of boxing? Promoters is number 1. What's number 2? Pay-per-view. Who put fights on pay-per-view? The promoters and the networks. Let's continue. And why do they do that? Because the fighter want to make a certain amount of money. And the promoters ain't got the money, or the networks ain't got. Well, look, we even pay $5-6 million, both of y'all a piece for a fight. Y'all niggas ain't worth that. Nah, that's what I want to fight. Okay, this is what you want to fight. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you a low guarantee. We're gonna give you 1.5 guarantee. And we're gonna make sure you get the rest of your money on the back end. Hopefully you sell enough pay-per-views. Hopefully the fans like your product so much that they're willing to buy enough pay-per-views so we can pay you them other extra 4 or 5 million on the back end. This is why Showtime won't show you the pay-per-view numbers. Those numbers ain't doing, them pay-per-views ain't selling, dog. They ain't selling. And that's why Stephen S. Meltzer won't come out and say, yeah, man, you know, we did 300,000-400,000, this and that. You will hear sources say. You will hear these floated numbers, rumors and stuff like that. But guess what? You ain't gonna hear nobody come out and put a stamp of approval on it. Showtime ain't gonna do that. It's always going to be sources say from Dan Raphael, sources say from Mike Carpenter, sources say from Fight Hype, sources say from Boxing News and all that stuff there. But ain't nobody going to put a stamp on it. Shout out to Mr. Calderon for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He said the fanboys' judgment day is almost here. Broke too many commandments. Now got to answer for their boxing sins. But let's go right here. Let's go right here, fam. He said, while promoters are forcing unwatchable fights, they're also selling these sorry matches on pay-per-view. The public is then obligated to pay sometimes over $75. What a tremendous waste of money for the fans. If you are, as a matter of fact, I like this so much, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I like this so much. Let me go ahead and say this and bookmark this. If you are already making a fight expensive for the viewers, the least you can do is master fighters with fans, master fighters fans actually want to see. So they said, if you're going to give us an expensive pay-per-view, at least give us a fight that the fans will be willing to pay for. Don't give me Hector Garcia and Tank Davis. Don't give me Rolly Romero and Tank Davis. We know what Tank gonna do to these dudes. Don't give me Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius. Don't give me Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios. Literally, you guys, Showtime, you guys are putting all your fights on pay-per-view. You kill boxing. Because you're making what we show you all the time. You made all these non-pay-per-view fights and you put them on pay-per-view. And then you're a lot of Dan Raphael, a lot of somebody else. Oh, yeah, man, you know, we heard, yeah. According to reports, a lot of these YouTube channels, that fight sold 450,000 pay-per-views on the low, according to my sources. Who your sources is? Well, when my source came, Big Booty Judy said that she was talking to third leg Tyrone. Tyrone was talking to Chico Stick. Chico Stick heard it from Pork Chop Willie. Pork Chop Willie was talking to Shawty Big Nuts. Shawty Big Nuts heard it from Hobo Sam's cousin. That's where we got the numbers from. I can't make this up. True. Sources say, huh? Sources say. Now, this is the problem. Now, that's number two. Number one, what's killing the sport of boxing? The promoters. Number two, what's killing the sport of boxing in America? Pay-per-view. Number three, here go another one. Too many belts. Everybody and their mama is a champion. He said, having one champion at each weight class makes the most sense. It's the only way you can really determine who the best fighter is. Currently, there are 4 major sanctioning bodies: the WBC, WBO, WBA, and the IBF. And they often have several confusing distinctions of secondary champions as well. Not only is it hard for casual fans to grasp why there are multiple simultaneous champions, hardcore fans can't keep up with the organizations stripping some belt holders and not others. So you'll strip Josh Taylor. You'll strip the other guy from the UK. He won the belt. He had got to have surgery on his hand. He broke his hand, and they stripped him after winning the belt. I think it was the IBF belt. But then you'll let somebody like a Jamal Charlo, he had the WBC belt since 1972. This nigga ain't fought nobody since 85. He still got his belt right now. Oh, there's more. It ain't just Jamal Charlo. Who else it is? Who else it is? Some fighters get privileges. Who else it is? Triple G? Was it Triple G got special? Well, Triple G just had a fight not too long ago. They creating French fries belts. So yeah, the French fry belt, it's a superior belt now. So the belt that was the superior belt that you needed in order to become undisputed, that belt don't count no more. Nah, that belt don't count no more. We just made a French fry belt. Everybody and their mama got a belt. I'm undisputed right now. Y'all want to see my belts? Let me show y'all my belts right quick. I'm undisputed right now. I have all my belts right here. And I want y'all to see them too. I have all my belts. As you can see, I got the WBO belt. I am the champ over here on YouTube. I'm undisputed. Don't even play. I have my WBO belt right here. I think I'm the first to do it on YouTube. Been on the game 2 years. I have my WBC belt. I am the champ, undisputed. As you can see right here, I have the IBO belt. It don't count for nothing right now, but I got it anyways. As you can see, guys, I have the WBA belt. I am the WBA super champion on YouTube. And I also have the IBF belt. I'm the champ, the IBF super belt. Hold on, guys. So you can see where the confusion lies. Now everybody know I'm a champ. There's no dispute about that. Everybody know I'm the champ. There's no dispute about that. Everybody knows. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah. Let me see what's up. Oh. Everybody know I'm the champ. We know that, right? Too many belts, right? So that's another one right there. Everybody named Mama a champion. It says currently there are 4 major sanctioning bodies. We do know that, right? It seems like more. It seems more like a free-for-all with these organizations making up belts, weight classes, and arbitrary rules on an ad hoc basis. Check this out. This is true. They created a different weight class. I think that was Mauricio Sulaiman, the Bridger weight. They got a Bridger weight class now. They're making up belts left and right. Then we got the PapaJohn.com belt. We got the Baby Got Back belt. We got the Tootsie Roll belt. We got the WBC Butterfly belt. We got the IBF Cabbage Patch belt. We got the WBA Electric Slide belt. We got the WBO Funky Chicken belt. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of belts now. Everybody named Mama a champ, including myself. Let's continue. And then here it go right here. The famous word. What else they say that's killing boxing? Too many belts, pay-per-view, and promoters. What else? What else they say that's killing boxing? Who y'all gonna love this. Y'all gonna love this. What else they say? Ducking. Ducking is another complicated aspect of today's boxing. Boxing fans will often comment, why doesn't X fight X? Why doesn't X fighter fight the other X fighter? Or X and X are both champions. Why they won't fight? Or X choose to fight X instead of X. On the surface level, the optics make it seem like nobody wants to fight each other. It couldn't be further from the truth. Fighters want to fight. They want to entertain the fans and put on an exciting show. I believe the promoters are the ones dictating who fights who and when. Oh, let's start right there. Can you guys think of some promoters that tell fighters, hey, look, as a matter of fact, if you was just to do a wild guess, right? Just a wild guess. If you were to do a wild guess, I ain't gonna put nothing out there. If you were just to do a wild guess, right, on certain fights that we just wanted to get, certain fighters on the wrong side of the street, they with the wrong networks, promoters already telling this fighter, hey, look, you're gonna fight this guy. I got the next 10 fights planned out. But I want to be undisputed. Don't worry about undisputed. I got you. Can you think of any fighter talking to a promoter in his office and he's getting talked to like this?
Who you think he is? DJ Quick?
No, I ain't saying
Kid
that.
Capri?
I didn't say that.
Oh, you must be Jimmy Walker. Blue, you ain't nothing. You don't deserve nothing. You don't get nothing. You get what I give you. I got a contract between me and you that say you do what I tell you to do. Therefore, shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't speak to me. Don't look at me.
I just want money. You know, I just said.
Blue, if I raise up, gonna be trouble. Trouble. I'm walking off.
This how I go. This how I go now. I'm my own boss. Boy, hush. True, true, true. Woo! I fight who I want to fight. Boy, hush. Anyway, additionally, promoters will have their fighters avoid fighting the other boxers under different promotions. Let's read this again, guys. Check this out. Check this out. On the surface level, the optics make it seem like nobody wants to fight each other. It couldn't be further from the truth. Fighters want to fight. They want to entertain the fans and put on an exciting show. I believe the promoters are the ones dictating who fights who and when. Additionally, promoters will have their fighters avoid fighting other boxers under different promotional companies. This way, it keeps the belts in-house and not going to other promotions and networks. True, true, true. As a matter of fact, what is an example of this, Coach? What is an example of this? Do you have any examples? Is there anything that you can say? Any examples that you have? Any examples? Shout out to my dog, Mr. Like I said before.
But when you are put in a certain position, he should be he's able to, like me. You know, when I was in a position, I can pick and choose who I want to, because I earned that right.
Floyd had an exhibition match on his own. Floyd getting A-Rab money. But fighters from his own company, they can't go overseas and get no A-Rab money. But Floyd getting it. I love this article right here. I love this article. I really do. I love this article. I love it. 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 Oh, let's continue. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. It says, additionally, promoters will have their fighters avoid fighting other boxers under different promotional companies. Tank Crawford roadside street. I'm with Showtime Fox. He with ESPN. He signed to the wrong promoter. He ain't had a minute re-signing with Top Rank. If he really wanted to fight, he probably came over here and signed with us. Who he want to fight? He want to fight everybody on my side of the street. He want to fight Al Heyman boys. He want to fight Al Heyman fighters. That's right. You know, we properties of Al Heyman. He want to fight all Al Heyman fighters. Remember that? It said, additionally, promoters will have their fighters avoid fighting other boxers under different promotional companies. This way, it keeps the belts in-house and not going to other promoters and networks. This is why certain fighters, this is why you won't see certain fights happen today. Top Rank is doing it too. Top Rank is doing it with Beterbiev and Bivol. Bob Arum is doing it with Beterbiev and Bivol right now. They're doing it too. Man, he ain't signed with us. He ain't signed with us. If he ain't with us, fuck him. Man, we ain't gonna make that fight. Yeah, man, but I need to fight this one last dude. If I beat him, I could become undisputed, man. This is for history books. And then I'm gonna get a bigger bag once I do that. Hey, look here, baby boy, check this out. Hold up, swole up, stop, slow down, rewind, back it up. Look here, baby boy, we ain't going that route there. We don't deal with them. He got the belt. We don't care about that. You got these 2 belts over here. You got these 3 belts over here. Look here, you finna fight Keith Thurman. Man, I don't want to fight Keith Thurman, man. I want to become undisputed. Look here, baby boy. Look. Who you think it with? DJ Quick? Kid Capri? Oh, you must be Jimmy Walker. Nigga, you ain't nothing. You don't deserve nothing. You don't get nothing. You get what I give you. I got a contract between me and you that say you do what I tell you to do. Therefore, shut the fuck, don't say nothing, don't speak to me, don't look at me. Now, let me tell you something. Boy, if I raise up, it's gonna be trouble. Now walk it off. Now you gonna fight Keith Thurman, boy. Get the fuck out of my office. That's how this works, right? That's how this works. True. Additionally, promoters will have their fighters avoid fighting other fighters from different promotional companies, right? Why? Because they want to keep everything in-house and not going to other promoters and networks. What's another reason what's another thing that's killing boxing in America? Bad judges. Another unfortunate aspect of boxing is the bad judges. Often at the end of a fight, commentators and fans will be baffled at the judges' scorecards. What looked like a close fight would be a complete blowout on the scorecards. or what looked like a complete blowout would be a razor-close decision on the scorecards. There needs to be some transparency in judging. That word transparency, right? Some of these guys have a problem with transparency when it comes to dealing with the fighters that they don't like. It's unacceptable for a sport when you can't even determine who wins or loses definitively. With that being said, the state of boxing is not very good. More and more fans are choosing to watch other sports and entertainment due to all of the above issues. So when you got, and here you go right here. He said, let me know in the comments what you think. He said, no to promoters. We need these fights in 2023. Look what he got right here, number one. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. Whoever wrote this article needs to receive a raise. We need to throw a parade for this guy, because he's talking about in this article everything that we talk about every day on this show. While they talking about sign the contract, Top Rank Toby, he went the wrong network. So saying, and I told you, these guys are not boxing fans. All of that talk is what's killing boxing in America. I told you, these dudes ain't no boxing fans. These dudes in America are network fans. What are you going to do when Showtime doesn't exist anymore? And Showtime doesn't do boxing anymore? Are you going to find another network to be a fan of? I'm just asking for a friend. Because if you care about boxing, it doesn't matter which network the fight is with. You just want to see the fights. I did not dislike Marvin Hagler because he was signed to Top Rank. If Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, Zuma Nelson, God bless him, Salvador Sanchez, Archie Moore, what's my main man from Argentina? Carlos Monzon, all these greats. If they was around today, they'll be called all kind of names. Coon, Top Rank Toby, signed the contract. He went the wrong promoter. He on the wrong side of the street. Like when I was growing up, we never did this. I never decided whether I'm gonna like a fighter or not like a fighter based on which promotion the company signed with. Bro, and it's not the young guys. I'm not gonna bang on the young guys. It's these old niggas that got these YouTube channels on YouTube. True. It's the old niggas. Them niggas in their 40s and 50s that have YouTube channels. They the one pushing this shit. Hell, you even got trainers saying that belts don't matter today. Trainers. Old school trainers too. Phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636. And I want to move on. Oh yeah, you know what? I almost forgot. 43 minutes into the show. If you are the ops, you don't like Coach Malachi Williams, please leave. Please unsubscribe, because you got to subscribe in order to leave a comment. And don't come back here again. But this is what I think about you.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Sir, yes, sir. Hey, look here, man. This dude right here, man, this is a wonderful article about this guy. And he hit the nail right on the head. These are the fights that we need to see. And as a matter of fact, let's see what the people talking about down here. Let's see what the people talking about right now. This guy right here said, I said it before, boxing needs to take a page out of the UFC matchmaking clause. The best fighters, the best fighting the best. And that's why the UFC is the most watched sport today in combat sports. I guess combat sports. It's the most watched sports today, and it's combat sports. Same as boxing. He said, and there is a new audience of combat fans out there waiting to see exciting matches, either boxing or MMA. Boxing is not dead. It just needs new management. I agree with that. In America, boy, woo, boxing ain't dead. Boxing ain't dead in the UK. Well, guess what? Listen, I envy the UK boxing fans. UK boxing fans show up and show out. They support their fighters. They don't care who the fighter is, what he look like, nothing like that there, right? Over here, it's just so tribalistic. It's so tribalistic. You got to be with the right promoter to come. And it's not just the boxing fans. It's these so-called power brokers in boxing as well. People who they've been in boxing for a while, they set tripping too, claiming sides, claiming promotional companies, claiming networks, and they got the fans online caught up in all this foolishness. Carl, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What? What's up, Coach? It's Edward from Lubbock, Texas.
Edward from Texas. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm listening to all these things, and I've heard all kind of bullshit. I don't know. I'm as a fight fan. I'm just a fight fan, and I like to see. I want to see the good fights. I mean, what would you be? What would your fight be? Okay, we wanted that.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, Errol Spence and Crawford. Okay, so I kind of threw that out. All right, because it don't look like it's gonna happen.
No, it ain't gonna happen.
And then I want to see Tyson Fury fight Usyk.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the same no more. So we just got to get over that. I mean, have hope. Give me your thoughts.
I kind of agree with you. My thing is this here: the top fighters need to fight each other. They need to stop. We talk about this all the time on the show. They need to stop giving us non-pay-per-view fights on pay-per-view. A lot of these fights should just be on regular network cable or whatever the case may be.
You know that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
But you asked me a question though. You're asking me a question.
Okay.
So you asking me what do I want? So what I want is the top fighters need to be fighting each other. If you are a champion, I think all of the champions need to fight each other. I think there should be a tournament where all of the champions fight each other or the top guys fight each other. That's what we need to do. I don't want to hear nothing about wrong side of the street, wrong network. You with the wrong promoter. Your baby mama got to be bow-legged. Your cousin got to be knock-kneeded. Your auntie got to know how to do the one leg up. Your sister got to know how to do the Tootsie Roll. I don't want to hear all of these things. I don't want to hear none of these things, these obstacles being put up by fighters as well as promotional companies and networks why we shouldn't get the top fighters fighting the top fighters. And I think that's what killed boxing in America, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's never going to be the same because you got to look at Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, I think he fought like 30 times in 1 month.
I don't know about no 1 month.
If you look it up.
Yeah, I don't know about no 1 month. I don't know if I fought
that was
1 month. When was that?
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Sugar Ray Robinson, my favorite fighter. I don't remember that, but I can look it up and see. But go ahead, go ahead. What you want to say?
Yeah, but it's all about money now. And then I mean, do you? All right, that's like saying if you're gonna fight for $5, or you're gonna fight for $20. I mean, what are you gonna say about it? I mean, if then people got lives too, and then they got to go through the hardships for everything.
Okay,
they got to train, they got to cut weight.
So your point
is gain weight.
So your point is what?
My point is that's their business. That is their business, and in whatever they do outside of their life, who cares? But when you step into that ring like Mike Tyson did, you just go get to the point.
All right.
If you with it,
go ahead.
If you willing to step in that damn ring and get your head knocked off, then it is what it is.
All right. Edward, shout out to you, man. Edward from Texas. Salute, fam. Yeah. Hold on. We got the calls calling. Phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636. Y'all, let's get the lights up too, man. Let's get the lights up. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Stanley, calling from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Stanley from Connecticut. Talk to me.
Yeah, this boxing, man. Like, I'm so frustrated, man. I've been waiting 10 years for Tank to fight a top contender. Buzz not winning the fights out, man. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this article is spot on. I think when this guy, as a matter of fact, I need to see, can we get this guy a raise? This dude here, whoever this writer is, but I would love to meet him and get his autograph. He hit the nail right on the head. Boxing slow death continues, and he gave some compelling reasons. His name is Alex Fessel. He gave some compelling, and he gave some compelling reasons why boxing is dying over here in America. It's not dying. It's not dying nowhere else but America. Because in America, it's so unique and so tribalistic over here, especially online. But promoters are killing the sport of boxing. Promoters, I totally agree with that. Pay-per-view is killing the sport. The oversaturation of pay-per-view. How you gonna give me 10, 20 pay-per-views in a year? All these guys, everything on pay-per-view. Keith Thurman is on pay-per-view. He's not a pay-per-view fighter. Doggone Ugas ain't no damn pay-per-view fighter. How you gonna give me Ugas on pay-per-view? He's not a pay-per-view fighter. King Kong Ortiz fighting doggone Charles Martin, that's not pay-per-view. You Rolly Romero shouldn't be on nobody's pay-per-view. Esau Cruz should never be on a pay-per-view. None of these guys. And
right.
this is what's going on. But let's go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Isaac Cruz took that fight in 2 weeks. He was a replacement.
Yeah.
And then Tank is fighting people, making him come up weight, tomato cans, to come up to his weight to fight him. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, I feel you, man. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna start watching bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what, man. I saw a good Tootsie Roll contest on pay-per-view. I think I'm gonna start watching Tootsie Roll. Hey, shout out to Stanley, man. Salute, fam. Yeah, man. I may just start shit. I got the zone. I might start just watching darts. I want to start my old dart channel, boy. Darts be popping, boy. Darts got a really good fan base. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Coach Malachi Willie Cole from Houston, Texas. Brother.
Man, Willie Cole, what's going on, my brother? I ain't heard from you since 1972.
Right on. You remember when we turned them corners, you know what I'm saying? I had 9, you had 7, you know how we were doing it.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, not a whole lot. Coach, I want to see if you can get on board with this. This is kind of a new twitch, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I often hear you talk about Don King and
I love Don King, man. I love Don King, right?
For the people, for the people,
by the people, of the people.
So, you know what I'm saying? And he gave the people what they wanted to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this question. I know things are all screwed up because this is all coming full circle from when I talked to you 2 years ago on the phone. We would talk about this exact same thing.
Yes, sir.
Is it just me, or is it just these promoters that are here now? Now we got some that was here with Don.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the Bob Arum. Yeah. Wasn't DeBella wasn't there around back then? And
yeah, Duval was around. The Duvals, they was around. It was quite a few promoters back then. I think the thing is, all of them used to work together. That's the thing. They used to work together.
That's my point. So, is it that these promoters now, the Al Haymans and my boy from Naturoom and a couple other guys, Eddie Hearn, is it that they just did not learn anything from those promoters back then on how they were so successful in giving us the fight fans, the fights that we wanted, and now they have adapted to today where the narrative crafts the fight, right? I mean, it's like we always talk about how these YouTubers, the YTC, the LDBC, all these people, they craft a narrative for these fighters, and it forms an opinion with that promoter or whatever, and says, okay, yeah, they want this fight, so we just gonna let this sit on the back burner. We're gonna let them keep wanting it, and all of a sudden it flame out because the whole damn internet system has it on fire because everybody has their own narrative about these fighters.
Yeah.
How about these promoters take a page out of the old school? Because I agree, boxing is not dead, but the people who are running boxing, from our sanctioning body, the belt, to the promoters, they have not taken a page back from I'm talking about the short time, coach. I'm talking about the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. Yeah,
the 80s,
yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had every fight that we wanted, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, no. It's something different, man. Like this Ryan Garcia kid, I want to see him and Tank get it, right?
Yeah, me too.
I do want to see that fight.
I'll pay for that.
But
I'll pay for that. I definitely pay for that.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
But coach, I wouldn't have known much about Ryan Garcia until I started hearing about he's got 9 million followers.
Yeah.
Didn't nobody give a damn? I don't give a damn about 9 million followers. I need to know what you do in the ring.
I don't give a damn about no 9 million followers. Hey, he take a mean selfie though.
Yeah.
He take a mean selfie. He do take a mean selfie. Now I gotta give him.
Hey, well, let him. He gonna have another selfie once he gets to be on that canvas in the ring. But that's neither here or there. Get in the damn ring, man. These fighters, they holler at their own bosses and everything. They're not, bro. Because man, you know as well as I do. When Hagler called out anybody, Sugar called out anybody, Mike called out anybody, they were fighting, bro.
They was fighting,
and it wasn't long either. They were fighting, man.
Have you ever heard of Hagler told Sugar Ray he was even on the wrong side of the street, or you with the wrong promotional company? You ain't never heard that. We
because they didn't shit. They didn't care, coach.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't care where you was in life. They didn't care who was your promoter. All they knew was that they wanted your ass in the ring, and that's all that mattered. And the promoters saw the fire between the two fighters, and they said, "You know what? We already gonna make a lot of money on this. Let's do it." You know what I'm saying? Pay-per-view came around. We were in the early pay-per-view stages, coach. We were getting the fights that we wanted. We didn't mind paying for those. But hell, you're gonna commit piracy every time you can now because we're getting fights that we don't want. And as good as streaming is now, everybody gonna steal them.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree with that article.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view is killing it. The promoters are killing it. And the duck thing, we'll let you talk about that on another show, coach.
Yeah,
that's all I had to say, brother.
All right, shout out to Willie Cole, man. Willie Cole, man. Houston, Texas in the house. Salute, fam. Yeah, man. Yeah. All this A-side talk. Now, Floyd Mayweather brought that in the game. As it made popularize that. Shout out to Haleen.
Hey, okay.
Dropping them 10 pounds on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say, Coach, send all the top fighters in the USA, and he say in the USA, top fighters, USA fighters, to fight in the UK stadiums be sold out. Yeah, I mean, these dudes over here, man, like, they jump crazy. Listen, they do everything in their power. Like, you can tell, a lot of these boxing fans on YouTube and social and Twitter, like, these are very, very low IQ guys. They talk about the same two fighters. They talk about the same fighter who they hate, but they make a million videos about this one fighter they don't hate. They don't talk about making the fights. They would disregard. Now, I'm going to tell you something. These Wakandas that's online, they hate this article. They would disagree with this article, especially about the pay-per-view. They'll disagree with that. They'll disagree with the ducking part. When you go to talk about size of the street, this and that, networks, because that goes totally against their narrative. You see what I'm saying? I told you, these guys are not boxing fans. They're fans of networks and promotional companies. I never seen nothing like this before in my life. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Coach? This T, man, 113 Jersey. You already know.
Man, T from Jersey. Talk to me, fam.
What's going on? I just want to say, man, I totally agree with the facts in that article. I can't even deny that everything in that article was all facts as far as the criticism of the promoters and everything. He killed it. You're right. But I also wanted to call and, kind of come back with what I said last time when we spoke about the Crawford and the Spence fight. One of your subscribers had said something that I wanted to speak on. He said that that I was talking crazy when I said that Crawford needed Spence more than Spence needed Crawford. Mm-hmm. And I want to clarify the reason why I said that. The reason why I said that is because Spence is a bigger star than Crawford. Spence has the other piece that Crawford really claims that he's chasing. Crawford never really said it was about money. Crawford always said it was about legacy. So did Spence as well.
So let me ask you a question.
Listen,
no, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, the question I want to ask you is, because I know where you're going at with this. I know Spence is the biggest star. He's the big fish. He's the greatest boxer in the history of boxing. I'm not saying you're saying that, or walking around today, whatever the case may be. What the hell does that have to do with us getting that fight? I did a show yesterday where I talked about all of the barriers that was brought up since 2017 from Errol Spence, why this fight hasn't happened. And the fact of the matter is, we still don't have this fight. We're still talking about this fight. Spence is the bigger star. He the A side, B side, C side, D side. Crawford ain't nobody. He doesn't deserve to fight this and that. Okay, whatever.
I wouldn't say that.
No. I'm saying whatever you say, I give you all of that. Fact of the matter is, we've been hearing about this fight since 2017. We still ain't got this fight.
Right.
And it has to be some level of accountability on everybody's side or whatever. Whatever you want to say, the fact of the matter is, we still ain't got that fight. That's the bottom line.
No.
Now, whatever side that everybody wants to see, I get it. You're from Texas or wherever you're from. If you love Spence, you team Spence. So Spence is the one that's right and Crawford is the one that's wrong. I get that. And if you like Crawford, Spence is the one that's wrong and Crawford is the one that's right. I get that. Fact of the matter is, the sport's still dying in America. We still putting up barriers for why we not getting fights, and we still make excuses why we can't get the damn fights. And there lies the problem.
Right. You're right. No, that right there, I can't argue with. Yeah. At the end of the day, it has to be a level of accountability on both ends. They both are responsible for making the fight. At the end of the day, Spence could have said, I don't care what he wants. Give him everything he wants. If he want to fight tomorrow, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And people could say that Crawford could be like, all right, I don't care when he wants it done. I'm not fighting anybody else until it's spent. So it's a level of accountability on both ends, I agree. But you're right. At the end of the day, the fans are the ones that's losing. We're the one that's losing, and it's starting to show in the pay-per-view numbers and the base in the longevity of the sport is at risk right now because of the shenanigans of these promoters and the greediness and the cowardness of some of these boxers.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
To say?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, everything that this guy said in this article, I agree with 150,000%.
I agree.
The reason why I agree with it, because I've been talking about this same thing for 2 years on this channel. And I'm starting, you know what? Right. I'm starting to think this dude here. I said, I want to do. He watch my show, because everything he pointed out, this is what I talk about. Well, outside of the bad judges, I didn't really say nothing about bad judges, but the too many belts.
Well, they should have had bad referees.
The too many belts, the pay-per-views, and the promoters. And online, and online, all we hear is the same thing. You got two dudes who really ain't that goddamn popular. We're talking about a global sport of boxing. Boxing is a global sport. Right. You got two dudes. If they walk down the street in a different city or a different state, won't nobody really know who they is like that. So they really ain't like it. Ain't like when people see them in the streets, they running at them like they did Mike Tyson or like they did Michael Jackson in the 80s. No. So you got two black fighters. They got a black fan base, different fan bases, and both fan bases doing the same thing. And guess what? No one holds the promoter accountable.
Right.
No one holds the network accountable. We taking it out. As a matter of fact, they protecting the promoter. No, my promoter ain't the reason why. That dude over here ducking. He doing this, he doing that. And I sold 1 million receipts yesterday, and they're like, the confirmation bias kicks in. I don't want to hear that, because it doesn't confirm what I want to believe. Fact of the matter is, we ain't got that fight, man. I'm past Crawford and Spence. That shit over. But
it's sad. It's sad. But let me just say one more thing. So you comfortable with these fights that Crawford is going to take next?
If he gonna fight,
he takes him over there with Golden Boy.
I got a perfect answer for this. Is Errol Spence fighting his mandatory Keith Thurman next?
I don't know. They talking about it. That's what they saying. It's looking like it. Most likely.
So if Keith Thurman, if Errol Spence has been mandated to fight his mandatory, Keith Thurman, by the WBC, which he has, Terrence Crawford has a mandatory coming up in May. Do you know who his mandatory is?
Munguia, whatever they do is.
Alexis Rocha is his mandatory.
Rocha, yeah, right.
So as far as I'm concerned, Errol Spence is fighting his mandatory, and Terrence Crawford is fighting his mandatory. So why is it good for one guy to fight his mandatory, but there's a problem with another guy fighting his mandatory? If that's the case.
No, it's not. So you just saying you're not optimistic that after both of them take care of their mandatory that they ain't going to meet?
No, I'm not optimistic at all.
Wow. All right, man. Thanks for letting me chop it up, Coach.
Yeah, shout out to T from Jersey. Salute, fam. Yeah, man, phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636. I totally agree with this article, man. I definitely agree with number one. Number one is the promoters. All of the brunt of this that's going on in boxing in America has to deal with the promoters. Time and time, I want you guys to look at this again. Time and time again, it says, so how do we get here? What is causing this slow death, so to speak, in boxing? It say time and time again, promoters make fights that frustrate fans beyond belief. Rather than setting up logical fights, promoters will let fights marinate for a year or two, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, sometimes even 7 years. Force unnecessary mandatory fights and overall just get in the way of big fights. Fans are left watching boring and predictable fights instead. We automatically know who's going to win the fight when certain fighters step in the ring. We don't even have to watch the fight to know who's going to win the fight. That's how much of a mismatch that fight is. Promoters don't seem to be interested in putting on quality entertainment. It's a strange business model as promoters are essentially running off the fans. Some of these promoters even put their fighters in the witness protection program. Jaime Munguia don't fought every tomato can in Mexico. Literally. Jamal Charlo, he don't fought every tomato can in the middleweight division. Triple G don't fought quite a few cans as well. But he got some big names on his resume, so I can't really complain too much about that. But you can look at a whole lot of dudes and say, okay, when he step in the ring, he's a 16-1 favorite to beat this guy. And this on pay-per-view? Well, he's a 25-1 favorite to beat this guy. They like, you'll have people like Leonard Ellaby, niggas playing it. My fighter, he's a star. He doesn't need to fight those guys over there. And, it's about putting butts in seats. Yeah, it's about putting butts in seats, but it's to the detriment of the sport of boxing. You get what I'm saying? But I totally agree with this here. Pay-per-views. Too many belts. Ducking. Let's look at this word ducking. Because we hear this a lot, right? Ducking. What is ducking? It say ducking is another complicated aspect of boxing today. Fight fans will often comment, why doesn't this fighter fight that fighter? And why doesn't that fighter fight this fighter? It said on the surface level, the optics make it seem like nobody wants to fight each other. So that's what you hear online right now. If you hate certain fighters, you're gonna talk bad about them and say he ducking this and ducking that while ignoring the real reason what's going on. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin from Oakland, talk to me.
Yeah, Coach. I'm tired of these promoters just like everybody else, but I can't help but be annoyed with these goddamn fighters. You got Tank. He's been the Reggie champ since 2019. Could have challenged Loma, didn't. Could have challenged Tio, didn't. Could have challenged Killer Cam, didn't. Now he could challenge Haney, but he still won't go for it. We got dumbass Virgil Ortiz. Could have went after Crawford. Oh, no. I want to go after Stanionis for his Reggie belt. And my thing is like, how much?
And Virgil Ortiz can potentially beat Crawford. He's a big, young, strong kid. And I didn't understand why he left out of the. Never mind. Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you. It's a lot of shit I don't like.
I mean, the only logic I can see from that is maybe he's looking at it like if he gets the Reggie belt, then it's so-called champion versus champion. Maybe he gets a bigger payday. Maybe. That's the only logic I can see from it. But if that ain't the case, then that's some motherfucking bullshit, you know? Because I'm kind of looking at it like, okay, the Showtime deal is looking bad. You know, it's looking like, you know, PBC going to be out there on their ass. And maybe they're holding on to whatever big name. Go ahead, Coach.
No, so I think the PBC will be all right. They'll be all right. Al Heyman is a smart guy. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out. I think they'll be all right.
Well, no. I'm sure they will, but my point is they got a couple of potential fights that could be made, like the one that everybody keeps talking about, Crawford. You know, the one everybody keeps talking about, Tank and Ryan. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think what it is they're just holding on to those, keeping those in their back pocket as, you know, as bait to, you know, lure whoever the new business partner or network that, you know, the PBC is going to be in business with. Mm-hmm. You know, because if they go ahead and make those with Showtime before their deal's up, then what do they bring to the table? Oh, we got Wilder versus Ruiz. Don't nobody want that shit. I'm Mexican and I could do without that nonsense.
Yeah, not on pay-per-view. You know, not on pay-per-view. Yeah.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
I think, Coach, I don't think I would watch it if it was going down outside in front of my house, to be perfectly honest with you. Mm-hmm. You know? But it's just so much shit that's wrong with boxing. I mean, and part of it is, I mean, look at ESPN. Top Rank's over there, you know, with ESPN. They ain't doing them no favors. They ain't giving them no type of extra promotion. You know, when, you know, Floyd was fighting, when Manny was fighting, those were on Sports Center. Mm-hmm. You know, Manny with his limited English over there chopping it up, you know, with the front desk or whatever. You don't see that shit no more, not even for Top Rank fighters.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's hurting boxing big time also. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it just over here, it's crazy, man. It really is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just some of the stuff, and I know you've been watching boxing for a minute, but it's just some of the stuff, Martin, that I see going on. Like these dudes, again, a lot of these guys that's on social media, they're not boxing fans. They are.
Oh, not at all.
They're not boxing fans. They are. And we said it yesterday. I think I said they have a cult-like behavior mentality. They push these certain narratives. They are what is it called? When people they're part of a tribe. They're part of their tribe who thinks like them. Yeah. And you know, I like to say they're part of the confirmation bias tribe. Any information that doesn't confirm what they want to believe, even if it's truthful, they're rejected in order to continue to run with the narrative that they want to believe, because it gives them some kind of dopamine spike in their brain that makes them feel a certain kind of way. You know, it is what it is. But Hey, Martin, thank you for calling, fam. Salute.
Sure, Coach.
Yeah, these dudes, they're like a lot of these people. They lack critical thinking skills. You know what I mean? You know, you can't have no discussion with a nigga that like critical thinking skills. It's a wrap. Shout out to Real Dude Buck Rising.
Hey, okay.
For dropping this quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What did he say? This is the result from bubble rapping. He said, Real Dude say this is the result for bubble rapping undefeated fighters. Almost no fighters wants to step up and establish real dominance in boxing. Hey, you know what? That's true. Whole lot of bubble rapping. Whole lot of you know, my fighter don't need to come over there and fight. Your fighter, I'm your fighter. You know what I mean? I'm with the A side, with this, with that. Like, bro, like that's what it is. And Floyd Mayweather is a promoter, and he uses duck language when it comes to his fighters. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's the inevitable. D Block, D Town, D City, D-Ville, Baltimore. Stand up.
D Block, talk to me.
Coach, this is the greatest subject you can have here. This is the greatest discussion you can have about what is really going on. Okay? So Showtime, as we know right now, slept with the devil in the bed. That's what happened. They let Al Heyman, boxing. This is why I tell you, I love boxing. Boxing means the world to me. Okay? Before Al Heyman came, before he took his hands on all these fighters and promised them this, promised them that, you know, before he snuck in there and talked to Floyd Mayweather in his ear. Boxing was never going to be perfect. Promoters were never going to be perfect. There was always going to be a Don King somewhere. but this guy has exceeded Don King. Okay, this guy has taken Don King's name and made him look like nothing. Al Heyman has come into this sport and made boxing the worst point where people want to go to MMA, the MMA fighters because they fight the best. And I'm not trying to give that much respect to Golden Boy and Top Rank and all these others, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. What's gonna happen to boxing and all these fighters that Al Heyman has once Showtime leaves? He's gonna have to get on his knees and start talking to DAZN or ESPN, okay? Because I promise you, they don't know how to work an app there at Showtime. I mean, at PBC, because they don't really know how to work that kind of angle. It's a new generation. The way Al Heyman came and tried to make all these guys rich and make, pay extra money and making them act like they're pay-per-view stars. Dude, none of them work. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, all these. Anyways, et cetera, et cetera. What I'm trying to say, Coach, is Espinoza fell for it, okay? He went with Al Heyman. In 2014, they took Golden Boy's roster, the majority of the roster, and they said, we're going to make our own brand. That's how it came out.
Yeah.
All right? They fed lies to everybody. So all these NBC, Fox, and now everybody caught up and said, you know what? This ain't going to work, man. This ain't going to work. Well, now we're at a point where DAZN and ESPN have their own app. They got their own thing going on. PBC ain't got no app. And now they're going to be cut to the cord. Okay? So, Coach, what do you think? What do you think those fighters that PBC
I got other calls
do?
calling in, but I'm going to summarize.
Okay, Coach. What do you think about that, Coach?
The PBC will be fine. I mean, I think the PBC, the only thing they need to do is just make the adjustments. Al Heyman is a smart guy, just like Bob Arum is a smart guy. Eddie Hearn, all of these guys are smart guys, so they just got to make the adjustments. You know what I mean? I won't say that, whatever, regardless of what happened with Showtime, I won't say that it would be the demise of PBC. It's just that now he's going to have to, he's going to have to change his business model. The business model that worked yesterday is not going to work today. You know what I mean? So, like any great businessman, you have to make adjustments. You know what I mean? So, you can't spend money and do things today the way you did yesterday. So, he's just gonna have to make adjustments. Maybe they can make an app or whatever, or maybe they'll find another network. Maybe they got to go to DAZN. I don't know maybe they have to go to ESPN. Just some of these guys who are network fans, who are fans of Showtime and stuff like that. If the PBC is not over there anymore with Fox, will these guys stop messing with the PBC if they see them on the app or whatever? So, and this is why I say, when you stand on the side of boxing, you can never go wrong.
There you go.
I'm not fans of promoters. The only way I can be a fan of a promoter is if that promoter is giving us the best fights we want. And I remember when I had Rick Glaze on the show, I said, you know what? The best thing that ever happened to Don King and Bob Arum is that they had each other. The reason why is because Don King and Bob Arum, they hated each other so much, but they was forced to work together, and they gave us the best fights because they was competing. Competition is always good. Now you don't have that. Now you have, I hate you, so I'm not going to do business with you. I hate you because I stole all of your fighters. I'm not going to do business with you. Now, nobody want to do business with each other. Fighters talking about wrong side of the street. I'm the A side. You the B side. Nigga, you got a Cadillac Brougham and he got a Chevy Suburban. He got a Suburban. Ain't neither one of y'all got no more than the other. I'm the A side. This dude got a net worth for $8 million. You got a net worth for $7 million. What the hell are you talking about? Both of y'all on the same level.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody. These people ain't shutting the shopping mall down when y'all walking through the city. He in the mall. We shutting the mall down. Cut it out. Hey, shout out to D Block, man. Salute, fam.
Thank you, Coach. Peace out, man.
Yeah, I ain't trying to have this. Yeah, he hit me up. Niggas around here, they been listening to too much Booger Ray Leonard. Shit, one thing about Don King. Don King gave us the fights we wanted. Shout out to your boy Mambo. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam, double your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said since PBC Puss in Boots champions are struggling, he said they should put Spence and Charlo on the same card. Yeah, man, it is what. Hey, we got to get the likes. So what we got? Oh, we got 240 likes. Hey, we got to get the likes to 300. We got to get the likes over 300, man. So I'm not taking phone calls right now. We got to get the likes up. We need 60 more likes. We need 60 more likes. Yamas, what's going on, fam? I want to pivot to something else. I want to pivot to something else right quick. I'll take this last call until we got to get the lights up. We got to get the lights up some more. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It is Naposh TV, Coach.
Naposh TV, talk
How
to me.
you doing? Man. I'm going to tell you something right now, Coach. It goes like this. That guy that wrote that article, he needs a Pulitzer Award, okay? You need to give him an award.
Yeah, he does.
All right?
He does.
Okay, because the reason why, not only do we say he needs an award just because we listen to you and maybe a couple of other choice, content creators that are actually on point and, like I say, that are true boxing enthusiasts, but as in people that are the casual, more blue collar type people that just love the old school boxing, and they've been waiting to hear the real boxing come back, the real sweet science come back for a long time. And they peer through the TV guide and see little things that they used to like when they would see a couple of little fighters and they look cool to them. They get a little story on them and then they like, you know what? Those guys look cool. Let me find out more about them. And then when they find out more about them, they paid for that fight. Okay? Those kind of people are the people that will vote for this guy to have a Pulitzer Award. All right.
Yeah.
This is. I believe, Coach, you got to get with him. I heard you say his name was Alex something. That's the beginning right there of you connecting with him, because you are that kind of guy that would do that. And you got to connect with somebody like that and bring him on the show every once in a while. Hey, we will be lucky to have a guy like that come on once a month just to come talk on Coach Malachi Williams' show, Truth Media USA Boxing.
Yeah, that'll be an honor, man. That'll be an honor, man. Posh TV, man. Salute, fam. Thank you for calling in. Thank you. That'll be an honor. That'll be an honor there, bro. Just to get some people. Just to get this guy's perspective, because we have other people who feel the same way that we feel, and we got to get the lights up. I want to open up the phone lines again, but we need 30 more lights. 30 more lights. We need to open up the phone lines. We need 30 more lights. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see, fam. That's what we need. All this A side, B side, 60-30, 70-40, 80-20. My fighter got a Lambo with suicide doors. My fighter making more money than your fighter. My fighter, all that. What's wrong with Kai? Kai, what's wrong with you? Kai, what's wrong? Oh, okay, cool. All right, I thought something wrong with you. Yeah, anyway, sorry about that, guys. So what you say, your boy Mambo? He said, since PBC Puss and Boots champions, he said, Puss Boy champions, he said, are struggling, they should put Spence and Charlo on the same card, and maybe that can help bring them back to life. Bro, like we used to get stuff like that. We used to get fights like that with Don King, bro. Like literally, bro. Like that's why I tell these people, man, y'all just go back and just do your research. But you'll never know listening to these guys today online. It's just crazy, man. Shout out to Real Dude Uprising. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Real Dude, what to say, fam? He say, Coach. He said, Coach, you're 100. He said, Don King used to announce upcoming fights in the ring after the fight. You barely see today's promoters say much in the ring. Hell, we don't see Al Heyman at all, so he don't say nothing. And then Bob Arum, he 1,000 years old. He don't do no promoting really. Bob Arum ain't promoting. Eddie Hearn, Eddie Hearn, he ain't able to do nothing in the American market, but he's doing stuff around the world. These promoters just don't drop the ball, dog. Just all around. I don't want to sit back and say it's all Al Heyman, but these promoters just drop the ball. They just dropped the ball, and they forgot what made boxing popping. You know what I mean? What it's all about. You don't see the best fighters fight the best fighters. Hell, they pay YouTube channels and other mainstream media outlets to push their narratives that's going on today that's destroying the sport. This is the truth. You get what I'm saying? So You know, this is what's going on. This is exactly what's going on, especially in America. I don't think it's going on like that in the UK, Japan, anyone else. But in America, if you go on social media, right? If Reddit, YouTube boxing groups, Twitter, Facebook boxing groups, Twitter, and YouTube channels, YTBC, if that's a microcosm, that's a microcosm of what's going on. That's a microcosm of what's going on. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the situation. Reality. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to sit here and say, yeah, man, you know, it's one promoter, because it's not. But that's just where they at right now. They dropping the ball. They don't drop the ball. They don't drop the ball. And now we hearing all the foolishness. We're in the era of two-figure niggas arguing online about which fighter make the most money. My fighter, the A side. My fighter's a bigger star than your fighter. Sir, what does that have to do with making the fight? Well, your fighter, your fighter got to fight. Your fighter got to fight for a Nick sack, because my fighter's the A side. My fighter sold such and such. He driving this car. He got Lambos with suicide doors. My fighter be in the club drinking. My fighter drive a Ferrari. This and that. Sir, what does that have to do with making the fight? Your fighter's a champion. This guy's a champion. Both of them say they want the undisputed. Why we can't make that fight? Tell them to sign the contract. 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20. Take whatever we give you. Sir, what does that have to do with making the fight? You know, your fighter should fight for free. He should fight for free. That's the problem. Like, oh my God, talking to these low, I don't even argue. I was, shout out to Odie Low. That was shout out to Odie Low. That was some nigga in the chat that was trying to debate with me about me having Rick Glazier on my show. And he wanted me to give Odie Loke a shout out, which I like Odie Loke a lot. He's a good brother from California. And we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers, man. So you guys please go subscribe. But anyway, make a long story short, I didn't even respond back to him. I think I responded to it one time, and then I looked at something he said. I'm like, man, I ain't finna be arguing with you. I'm not gonna argue with you about something. And you know, motherfuckers got a problem with who I have on my show. Don't watch my show. Simple, right? And that ain't got nothing to do with boxing any goddamn ways, right? So, anyways, I just want to see, well, like you guys, see the top guys fight the top guys. If you tell me your guy is Godzilla, I want to see him fighting King Kong. Don't tell me he King Kong, and if he fight Godzilla, he gonna knock him out. But yet he fighting the Powerpuff Girls, Mojo Jojo. He fighting Heathcliff. He fighting Inspector Gadget. He fighting Rainbow Bright. He fighting the Care Bears. And because he's knocking out all these dudes, you telling me that your fighter don't need to be fighting this other fighter that you say King Kong, because that fighter, he ain't the A side. You know, he on the wrong side of the street. He need to leave his promoter. So you ain't got no problem with your fighter fighting the Care Bears, Mojo Jojo, the Powerpuff Girls, Krillin. You ain't got no problem with none of that. But when it comes to, okay, let's see how good he is, let the top guys fight the top guys. You know what I mean? Do you want to make all these arguments, and as Blood Boxing would say, so eloquently say, they create all of these barriers for why we shouldn't see fights. And guess what? The guy who wrote this article, that's exactly what's going on, because the promoters are doing the same thing. And the fans and the boxing fans are a reflection of the promoters. The boxing fans are a reflection of the mainstream media. The boxing fans are a reflection of these what they like to call them so-called sports journalists who push these narratives because they own the bag from certain promotional companies. This is what's going on. Shout out to Off the Ropes. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
We need 20 more likes. Hold on. Then we're going to 400. We got over 500 in here, less than 500 likes. He said, what you say? He said, UFC even has its own network. Boxing generates enough money to create one app or network. Yeah, I mean, and see, this is what I think. I think Al Heyman, I think what he should do is probably create an app. Just create an app for the PBC. Create an app for the PBC. It is what it. I think that's what he should do that. But that's what I always say. I miss Don King, even though Don King is not. He's still alive, but he's not. I miss that heyday. But what I mean by that is I miss that heyday. Was Don King a crook? Yes. Did he rip off his fighters? Yes. That's been well documented. But did he give us? But guess what? Boxing fans love Don King because Don King was of the people. I do this for the people, by the people, of the people, because I come from the people. I love the people love me. I give the people what they want, the people give me what they want, which is the money. If you want to get the money from the people, you got to give the people the fights they want. Don King will give you 4 fights. John King will give you a stat card. He'll give you Mike Tyson versus let's say Larry Holmes or versus what's my main man? Michael Spinks, and then you will have a doggone Julio Cesar Chavez versus Pernell Whitaker on the undercard. You will have Julian the Hulk Jackson versus doggone Terry Norris. You will have Simon Brown versus another top guy, whatever the case. Like you will have 4 championship fights on that one card, and that's pay-per-view. You don't get that no more. Listen, we'll be lucky we get a fighter. We'll be lucky we get a pay-per-view that's a 50-50 fight. They have a stacked card all the way down. Now, I'm talking about 50-50 fights across the board or competitive fights across the board. You're going to know who both guys is. What they had something in the 90s, they said it was the revenge of the rematches. I think that was, I think, who the revenge of the rematch. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I forgot who all the fighters that was on that. Revenge of the rematches. Like, bro, we always talk about that. Steve Kim called the show. That man, Steve Kim was talking about that. I forgot, but yeah, I think it was 93, 94. Something up in there. I think it was 93, 94. Something up in there. You got dudes who go online right now arguing, debating, and condoning ducking. Hey, we need phone lines open 530-494-9636. We need 90 more likes to get to 400. I'm not gonna argue with no 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20, sign the contract. I'm not gonna argue with no doggone with these fools on online for what? I'm gonna say what I gotta say and move the hell on. I'm not finna tongue wrestle with you just for the sake of arguing. Nigga, you don't even know what a check left hook is. You don't know what a bolo punch is. What am I arguing with you for? You know what I mean? Nigga doing 10, 11, 12-hour lives talking about the same bullshit, but they ain't talking about nothing. They ain't talking about no boxing. True. You broke sitting at your baby mama house playing the PlayStation all day, but you sitting there gonna tell a fighter who got a net worth from 8 figures what he should do from a business standpoint. Ain't none of these niggas on YouTube ever dealt business in boxing. Never seen a boxing contract. How the hell I'm gonna listen to you for? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's be real. Tell him, Deontay.
Don't ever forget, when I found you, you was strung out on coke. When I found you, you was like a big house, contemplating about killing yourself. So don't you ever forget who brought you to big time boxing. I drugged you back. I brought you back. I provided food and put food on your table for your family to eat. And I'm doing it for the second time. So don't you ever forget that.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? These dudes, they don't want no big time boxing. They just want to push narratives. They got daddy issues. They suffer from confirmation bias. They participate in the Victim Olympics, and that's just all you see. They want to threaten you. They got shooters. They to drop the addy. This what's going on now. Man, shout out to Swiss 718 for dropping that. Bam, hundo on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Swift, what'd you say? You say nobody watches streaming apps, but they pay off for. You said, but they pay off for YouTube channels cap for them. He said, but they pay off for YouTube channels to cap for them. They pay them out to cap for them. You're right about that. He said, isn't YouTube a streaming app? YouTube is a streaming app. Yes, sir. They can't make Bud versus EJ because nobody buys pay-per-views, and they use Fire Stick. A lot of people do use Fire Stick. I know. Everybody in my family uses Fire Stick. Ain't no Fire Stick streaming. Tank versus EJ are pay-per-view stars. Premier Boxing contradicts PBC. It's a total contradiction. You get what I'm saying, Swift? We just want to see the fights. They don't even understand that they are the reasons why boxing, especially in America, is suffering. I hate a lot of these American boxing fans. That's why I love the UK boxing fans. There's no enthusiasts over here like that. These dudes argue 10, 11, 12 hours a day for why we shouldn't get fights. Swift, who does that? Who argues for 10, 11, 12 hours a day for why we shouldn't get fights. This fight ain't gonna happen because you're fighting with the wrong promotional company. Swift, when did a boxing fan care about a promotional company? I don't remember when Mike Tyson fought Lennox Lewis, even though they did have the promotional company beef between the two networks. Guess what Showtime and HBO did? They came together, made that fight happen. But I didn't see fans arguing about it. When have you seen a fan argue about promotional companies and networks? I've never seen this. All we cared about is getting the fight. We didn't care if it was on DAZN. We didn't care if it was on ESPN. We didn't care if it was on Showtime. It was on HBO. Man, we didn't care if it was in the backyard. If it was in Big Booty Judy backyard. We just wanted to see the fight. We don't care if it was. We don't care if it was on the London Bridge. We don't care if it was at the Brooklyn Bridge. We don't care where y'all fight at. We just want to see the fight. These dudes today, look, the only way we gonna get this fight, it got to be at Big Booty Judy house. It got to be at my cousin Bow-Legged Tyrone house. It got to be at my auntie. Drop it like it's hot, Susie. It got to be at my cousin Patty Cake house. Also, look, my body, like these dudes online, they talk like they in Al Heyman office, Bob Arum office. They talk like they in the offices of these promoters negotiating contracts. True. They talk like they ain't never seen a boxing contract before in their life. They talk like they in the office negotiating contracts. Some of these dudes, like, they do some of the worst fanaging and promoting I ever seen in my life. All we want to do is get the fight. They sit there arguing. Yeah, see, in negotiations, see, he left negotiations and see what happened. See, when he was talking to Al Heyman in his offices, you know what I mean? He didn't sign the contract and see what it was. See what it was. See, he was scared. He was ducking, and he never should have signed with Bob Arum. And I'm like, bro, like, what the hell does that got to do with anything? You don't know nothing about boxing. See, the business of boxing, dude, you got a network for 2 figures smoking on the Nick Sack and Reggie. You got a Nick Sack full of shake, stems, and C's, and this guy got a net worth of $8 million, but you got a net worth of 2 figures, but you gonna talk about business and this dude doing bad business. Man, sit your dumb ass down some goddamn well. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Coach? Major Key Boxing.
Major Key, talk to me.
Hey, man, what we need to do, man, we need to have Adrian Broner follow these motherfuckers around. And when they come out with some shit about wrong side of the street, he needs to sit that soft-ass shit up. Sit that soft-ass shit up. That's what we need to have, bro. We need to have him following just like Shannon Briggs, bro, following everybody around and just, like, put him in check, bro. Because you know what? Back in our day, Coach, you know damn well, back in our day, yo, if you was on the opposite side of the street and we needed to fight, we was meeting in the center of the street. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what all this other side of the street shit is, man. You know, I don't want to go on a tangent, bro, because I think that the dude that wrote that article hit the nail on the head. Yeah. I think, you know what I'm saying, you following it up correctly. You know what I'm saying? Stamping all the points. Bro, like we just need to you know, boxing, we give them credit because they're putting their life on the line when they get in the ring. But shit, you know, we don't want to put the other person at risk. So you already know that you're going to beat this dude. You putting that brother's life on risk. At risk more than what you're doing for yourself. Yeah. Right? Yeah, put yourself in an equally matched bout. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're right about that. Because if a fighter that's a 16-17-1 favorite is fighting a guy that's a 16-1 underdog, the reason why you're that is because your skill set is such a higher level than that guy. So now that guy's he's fighting you, but he's fighting you at a disadvantage because he doesn't have the skills that it takes in order to compete. So he doesn't get hurt in the ring with you. So his well-being is at risk.
Yeah. You're right, man. That's a valid point. Yeah. Hey, shout out to my brother, man.
Yeah, man. So go ahead. Yeah, man. No, I was going to say, I was just breezing through real quick, you know, just to say great show, you know what I'm saying? And just to make that point, man, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you know, if you was on the opposite of the side of the street, we meet up in the middle of the street. That's it. You know, like, I don't understand all this bullshit.
Meet in the middle of the street. They don't do that no more. See, these kids, they don't know about meeting in the middle of the street. Yeah, we ain't gonna meet in the middle of the street. What you got to do, you got to leave Magic Key House, and then when you leave Magic Key House, you got to go across Paramount. Then when you go across Paramount, you got to go meet Big Booty Judy on Mercy Drive. Then you got to go to Pine Hills. Then once you leave Pine Hills, there's the frozen cup lady right down the street. You got to get 14 frozen cups. You got to eat 13 of them in 5 minutes. Like, they come with all all these stipulations, dog, and all we want to do is get the damn
What
fight.
you know about Mercy Drive and Silver Star and OBT and all that? What you know about that, Coach?
I used to do security over there. Hey, shout out to Major Key. Salute, fam. Yes, sir.
All right, brother. All right, peace.
Nigga be throwing up all kind of barriers. Yeah, I want to pivot a little bit. You know, I want to pivot a little bit because Major Key did make a point. You know, we grew up in the era and put the sand in your hand. Whoever hit my hand first is the baddest man. Hit the hand, knock the dirt in the air. We knocked the dirt in the air. Okay, all right, we got to do something. Now it's, you ain't got enough Twitter followers. How many Instagram pictures you got? Oh, you ain't got enough likes. This is a whole bunch of bullshit. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm biased in New Haven, Connecticut. How you doing, Coach?
I'm biased. Talk to me, fam.
Do you agree with me that the overall consensus is that the expectations of fight cards have diminished over the years, and for us as fans, like we get less and we expect less at this point now when it comes to, you know, these pay-per-view boxing cards that we're getting?
Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's done. Like, I think the fans have, like, we're done. I know I am. We're done. Like, we ain't got no expectations to get no big fights. We understand the game, what it is. And so now what's going to happen is, you know, and Tim Smith, and this what I agree but disagree with Tim Smith on. So Tim Smith said that, man, you know, economics is the reason why this Crawford Spence fight's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I had the audio right here. You know, Crawford wasn't built into a pay-per-view star, all that stuff there. I'm like, well, Spence ain't no pay-per-view star neither. But you know, he's selling more than Crawford. We don't know that. Y'all ain't never released no numbers how many pay-per-views he's selling. Never they release pay-per-view numbers. No one can show me pay-per-view numbers that PBC or Showtime released of Errol Spence. No, nobody. Show me something that where it said, well, Showtime gave a press conference. Hi, my name is Steven Espinosa, and this is what we sold on this particular fight. Hi, my name is Al Heyman or Sam Watson, and this is what we sold on this fight. They don't do that.
The closest we get is when they feel happy about something, they'll throw a little bird food out, and we'll start getting information like within 2 to 3 days after the fight. That's the closest we get.
And we don't know any of that. But my point is, that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is, the fans ain't stupid. We know we're not going to get the fights. It is what it is. So if you think that we're going to steal Crawford and Spence, you think we ain't going to steal Tank versus Roland Romero? You think we ain't gonna steal Tank versus Hector Garcia? You think we ain't gonna steal doggone Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman? After they stole Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, did what, 40,000 pay-per-view buys? So guess what? People ain't gonna decide who they gonna steal from, who they not gonna steal from. No, everybody got fire sticks. If you're gonna put on an inferior product and put a $75, $80 tag on it, guess what? We gonna steal it. True.
Fact. I just wish they would put some respect on their on the fan base. Yeah. Give the fan base some actual value, and then maybe in turn you get more back from it by actually putting a little bit of respect on the boxing fan base and giving them quality boxing cards to pay for.
Especially if you're depending on the boxing fan base to pay your fighters. If you're depending on Coach Malachi Williams to separate myself from my money so that I can pay for your product, 2 fighters in the ring fighting each other, or a fight card, if you want me to separate myself from my money, you're going to have to give me something that I'm willing to pay for. You're not going to give me a whole head cheese sandwich and tell me it's filet mignon.
You know, we can't do that hog head cheese sandwich, man. I can't eat those. I'm from the South, but I never ate that. My mom had that. I'd be like, nah, I'm going out to play. But let me ask you a question about this current card that's coming up soon.
Yeah, we got some other calls calling in, but I'm gonna let you wrap this up. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So just real quick, what do you think about the undercard for Plant and Benavidez? If you think it makes it a valuable card at all to pay $80, and I wish y'all had to warn me about the.
I don't even know what the undercard is, but Caleb Plant and Benavidez is not a pay-per-view fight. It's a good fight, but it's not a pay-per-view fight.
It's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
It's a co-main.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
It's not a pay-per-view fight.
You. Yeah. I wish y'all had to warn me about these guys threatening your mom and dad, all that, man. But you have a blessed one, bro. Take care.
Salute, fam. Now, I want to pivot a little bit. I want to pivot a little bit because the second half of this show, I have a question. Serious is canceled. The second half of this show is this. Why they turned on Blue Blood Sports TV? That's the second half of this show. Why did they turn on Blue Blood Sports TV? And who is the they? The they is all of those subscribers for years was saying that facts, Blue is a real one. Go ahead, Blue. Tighten up, Blue. Boy, Blue, facts. Let's drop that. Listen, man, let's drop that $500 on Blue. That's where I got that from, Blue. I used to, when I, you guys know how petty I am. I used to just always make so much mockery back then of just anybody from the Alphabet Boys, antagonize them. Then their subscribers come over here and they really help me grow. Their subscribers really help us grow. And so a lot of them hate me right now, but they watch me every day. So we got over 500. We had over 600 here one time, but that's neither here nor there. But that's okay. No, we had over 500 in here. Right now, so I do that, you know what I mean? But me and Blue, we cool. Me and him cool now. We talked it out. He called the show. It is what it is. I ain't got no issues with Blue. But my thing is, that was their man's just yesterday, though. That was their man's yesterday. Blue Blood Sports TV was your favorite YouTube channels from Wakanda and their affiliate channels YouTube channel. You have LDBC YouTube channels dissing Blue right now, and they're in affiliate channels. But y'all was in love with them yesterday. Is this about boxing? No, it's not about boxing. It's about a narrative. It's about the fuck Terrence Crawford narrative. And once Blue Blood Sports TV got in business with his business partners, BOK Prime. He said them as partners. That's what he said. And he went from shitting on Terrence Crawford to defending Terrence Crawford. Or I won't just say defending him, just revealing more of the truth of the situation as he's seen it. And sometimes if you receive new information, that new information that you receive lets you know that you've been wrong all the time. So everybody has a right to change their mind. But what we do know is this here. When you're a part of the Alphabet Boys, meaning the LDBC, there's a code that comes down from their leader, 7-8. I call him Jabba the Hutt. And everybody has to be on that code. And if we say, this is the message today, we're going to be F this guy, it's going to be F this guy. If you go to any one of those channels, 99.99% of them, they say the same things that the other ones are saying. So when my good brother, Blue, got off the F. Terrence Crawford train, all those other channels, affiliates who loved him, they didn't like that. So now they're making videos dissing Blue. My question is this. Why are you dissing them now? Some of these guys are saying that Blue do clickbait. That nigga be clickbait, that nigga be clickbait. But guess what though? Before he started shitting on Crawford, was he clickbaiting then? I'm just asking. So when did you notice that he was clickbaiting? Did you notice he was clickbaiting before F Crawford or after defend Crawford? Like, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Like, now it's F Blue. But he was your man's yesterday. He was your man's, right? Wasn't he your man's? Facts. Facts, Blue. Facts. It was facts yesterday. Now you hate him. You know what I mean? Used to be my homie. Now you act like you don't know me. Turned on the man. So I'm not going to turn with Blue. I'm not going to turn on Blue. No, I'm not going to. See, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm not gonna let these dudes get off the hook. See, these same guys who dissing Blue today, the same thing they're accusing Blue of, they do the same thing. Clickbait, push their narratives, and they have a tribalistic mentality. It's the narrative tribe, right? The reason why, and I told you guys how this YouTube stuff works. How many times you guys have saw YouTube channels rocking out on YouTube? You see them on panels together. That's my brother. Yeah, what's up, homie? You a real one. You a real one. Facts, Blue, facts. But you a real one, boy. Smiling. Y'all go subscribe to my homeboy. Go subscribe to my homeboy. Guess what happened after that? Next thing you know, I got a rip on you, Toby. Used to be my homie, now you act like you don't know me. Mr. Buster, tell me where you at. Can't scrap a lick, so I know you got your gat. You stay on hard for ganking your homeboys. The hood you threw up with, niggas you grew up with, don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, fool. Used to be my homie, used to be my ace. Facts, Blue. Now I want to slap the taste out your mouth. Now they want to slap the taste out of Blue mouth. That was your road dog yesterday. Now y'all don't turn on him? So it ain't facts no more. Why it ain't facts no more? And wasn't it just facts? Wasn't it just facts the other day? So when did you realize he wasn't facts? All y'all was partners. All y'all was homies. All y'all was down yesterday. Oh, y'all was, that's my dog, bro. That's my dog, boy. Blue and red with boy. Oh, Lord have mercy. We love him. Now they hate the man. Nah, Blue, I ain't gonna hate you. I ain't gonna hate you, Blue. I ain't gonna hate you. I ain't gonna let him get away with that, Blue. Nah, if you was riding with him yesterday, ride with him today. If he was a real one yesterday, guess what? Blue is a real one today. Oh, you thought he was real all that time when he was saying F-Tans Crawford, and now he ain't saying that no more? Oh, you just magically woke up and realized he ain't real. True. Nah, we gonna ride, we gonna roll with him. We gonna roll with him. We gonna get in there. We gonna get in there. No. Nah, listen, I get it. And I get it. It's the aerosexuals who hate Blue. The aerosexuals. I told you, these niggas are so divisive. They got a victimhood mentality. Now they want to turn on Blue. No, I ain't gonna let them turn on Blue. The hypocrisy. Adrian said hypocrites. The hypocrisy and the double standards is what I'm talking about. He was a real one, right? He's a real one. So basically, this is what's going on. These dudes ain't fans of boxing. These dudes are fans of pushing certain narratives. And as long as you push what they want you to push, they down with you. As soon as you disagree with them, they're going to turn on you, dish you and make videos about you. That's how this shit goes. I've seen it all happen with everybody, all of them. Call what's your name, where you calling from?
Hey, it's the boxing scientist from Cali. What up, coach?
Boxing scientist, talk to me.
Yeah, so honestly, I don't know too much about Blue, so I'm not really going to get into that. I never subscribed to his channel. I checked him out like once, and then I seen enough, you know what I mean? So I wanted to talk about how these fans, they like to blame promoters, for fights not happening. And yeah, sometimes it is the promoter's fault. Not every promoter gets along with other promoters. But you have guys like Oscar De La Hoya, who has shown that he's willing to co-promote. He gave us Munguia versus Smith, Linares versus Loma, Canelo versus Floyd. And, that's just off the top of my head. But there are promoters who are willing to put their differences aside, like Eddie Hearn and Oscar. They don't like each other, but they've co-promoted, So it's not always the promoter's fault. Sometimes it's these boxers, man. Like, I keep hearing people say, oh, we need Don King back. But last time I checked, Don King is still a promoter, right?
Yeah, I think you're misunderstanding. When people say they need Don King back, they're not necessarily saying that we need the physical Don King. The guy, he's old right now. Don King is not. He doesn't have the energy to do what he did in the past. When I say that, we're talking about that Don King mentality when great fights were being made. It's not necessarily Don King physically. It's we need that type of promoter that's willing to put the work in that Don King did in order to bring the fans the fights that they want. That's what they mean by that.
I see. Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, but I think a lot of it is these boxers, man. That some of them, I'm just gonna say, some of them are just pussy. You know, you got like Jamal Charlo. He doesn't even want to fight. The guy hasn't fought in like over a year, I think. And, you know, like, who are you going to blame the promoter? He's not even fighting Sulecki. He's not fighting anyone, you know? And same thing with Andrade, you know? It's always like he's pricing himself out or always some excuse with that guy. And after a while, it's just hard to believe these boxers, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is like when you have certain fighters. Some of these fighters, they be hiding behind promotional companies. They hide behind their promoters. They hide behind their financial advisors. They hide behind networks. So you do have, it is a combination of that as well. It's a different breed of fighters today. This is why I respect fighters like Devin Haney. I respect fighters like Devin Haney, regardless of whether you like his boxing style or not. Hey man, I want to fight. I want to become undisputed. I'll sign the top rank. I'll leave the zone. Eddie Hearn said, okay, man, this is your dream. Go ahead, man. I'm not going to stop you. Eddie Hearn didn't say, no, you're signed to me. You can't leave. They're like, no, go ahead, man. We had a partnership, but go ahead, chase your dreams. We're not going to stop you, right? Certain fighters can't do that. He go sign the top rank. Now he's not making the money at top rank that he was making with the zone, but that's neither here nor there. I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order for me to the fight for the belts, the fight for legacy to become a champion. Whether you like Devin Haney or not, Lomachenko, we know what happened with that war. Next thing you know, hey man, you got to come to Australia. I'm the A side. You got to do this and do that. You got to fight for $5, and you got to be here, and your dad can't come, and this and that, this and that. He said, I don't care. Whatever it takes, I'll do whatever y'all want me to do. I'm coming over there. He threw all that aside, went over there, beat the guy. Whether you like the style or not is irrelevant. I'm not even talking about the style. I'm talking about the mentality. The mentality of today's fighters, they have a ducking mentality. They have an entitled mentality. I don't need you. Yeah, they have everybody's a star. They don't have that mentality to just want to get in there, and they don't show the vigor to do it. And then their fans who cap for them are a reflection of them as well. So that's what I'm seeing, fam. Shout out to Boston Scientists. I'm gonna let you wrap it up. Anything else you want to say?
Oh no, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Salute, fam. Boston Scientists, Cali in the house, man. Listen, when you see dudes online arguing about why a fight should not be made, that tells you everything you need to know. And it's not young guys. It's these old crusty niggas in their 40s and 50s that have YouTube channels. If you listen to these old crusty niggas who say they know so much about boxing, you know what I mean? These old crusty niggas, they be the ones who doing it. I can't make this up. That's how you know they don't know shit about no damn boxing. I'm gonna listen to old crusty. Old crusty niggas with old crusty nigga mentalities. Carla, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Coach Malachi. I don't appreciate you calling me old and crusty. I mean, I took offense to that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the older guys who's supposed to know better, but they don't have an old school mentality. They have a new school mentality. And so that's what that's what makes them crusty, y'all. But go ahead, Letro.
I'm just joking. I know what you meant. My thing is, I was in a room the other day, and they had the audacity to say, like, someone like Crawford, what has he done? I wanted to laugh. What has he done to try to fight? Spence, and I said, really? But I got an issue with what you said. Listen, and I agree, and I still kind of disagree, because here's the thing. I don't think so much of that is the fighter ducking mentality, more than them not standing up to their promoters and their management. I think it's more that they'll do whatever their promoters and their managers say without without any resistance. Whereas
that's what I'm talking
someone
about.
like Haney,
that's what I'm talking about.
Someone like Haney.
That's a ducker's no. That's a ducker's mentality. When you're hiding behind your promoters, you're hiding behind your managers. You're like, oh man, you know, whatever they tell me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. The promoters and managers work for the fighter. That's what they say. So if you cool, okay, let's say my goal is to fight A, B, C, and D in order to become a champion. If my promoter and manager say, no, you ain't gonna fight A, B, C, and D, you know, you're gonna fight you're gonna fight this banana peel, this apple, and you're gonna fight this tangerine over here. If I say as a fighter, okay, man, you know, since you got it all planned out for me, man, that's what I'm gonna do. Guess what? That's a ducker's mentality. Because I'm disregarding my goals that I wanted to accomplish in the sport for the sake of what for the sake of what people who work for me want from me.
Okay,
that's what I mean by that.
You're coming from now.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from now, because I really do think these fighters want to fight, but they don't want to argue with their management, and I don't think they realize they have more power than they give themselves credit for. Because I'm sorry, but back in the days, these fighters wanted to fight, it was going to happen, whether their management wanted it to happen or not. And right now, it's a sad state of affairs. And the way that people, fans, you know, certain fighter fans, just go to bat for their fighters, it's ridiculous. I mean, be a fan of the sport, not so much of the boxer. I can understand you know, liking a certain boxer. And, you know, I got favorite boxers too, but I'm never going to sit there and cat for them. I just don't understand that mentality.
Yeah, it's not to be understood. I don't waste energy on it, to be honest with you. It's nothing to understand. It is what it is. You know, once I come to a conclusion, and I'm gonna let you go. But once I come to a conclusion, that this I never get into arguments. You want to know why? Because once I have an understanding that you're going to believe what you want to believe, irregardless of what. Because a lot of people online, they like to argue for the sake of arguing. I don't argue for the sake of arguing because it's a waste of my time. I do know that I have a boxing criteria. We have commandments over here, and everything that I do when I make decisions is based on how I see things from a boxing criteria standpoint. Online, we don't have boxing criteria. We have promotional company fans of promotional companies, networks. They might have an extreme infatuation for a certain fighter, whatever the case may be, but it has nothing to do with making the best fights happen. Back in the day, it's over. That's done. This is a new era. Now the fans in the UK are different from the fans in America. Boxing fans in America don't control nothing. The boxing fans in the UK, they are the ones who really keeping the sport alive. Boxing fans in Mexico, they keep the sport alive. Not the American boxing fans. The American boxing fans, when I say the American boxing fan, I'm not talking about all. I'm saying online, there's a certain mentality here that has changed. You get what I'm saying? So I don't try to change. I don't try to change people's minds. I'm gonna say what I'm going to say, drop the bomb, and leave. What you mean by that? No, I want to talk to you. I want to argue with you about this. Sir, I'm not going to argue with you, nigga, whatever you say. Bye, Felicia, I'm going. I don't have the energy for you. You don't even have the intellectual fortitude to even have a conversation with me as it relates to the sport of boxing. So what I'm going to argue with you for? I'm going to argue with you? Anytime a dude that got a net worth of 2 figures that's playing his PlayStation all day, sending me gun emojis, you know, drinking up all the kids' juices, drinking up all the Kool-Aid, eating all the cereal, drinking all the milk, smoking on the Nick Sack and Reggie, want to argue with me about a sport he knows nothing about and want to get overly aggressive with me on the phone. Guess what? I'm not finna argue with you. I'm not going to be going back and forth with these dudes. So that's what I see about it.
And I don't no more. I refuse to do that anymore.
All right, shout out to Electro Jet.
Listen, God bless. Yeah, God bless you, brother, and God bless the chat there too. Thanks for having me on here, brother.
Shout out to Electro Jet, man. I'm like doggone Lil Duval. Remember that song by Lil Duval? I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm not going back and forth with you niggas. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, drop a bomb, leave, and we're going to be back and do it all over again at 3 o'clock. That's that's it with me. Fuck, I'm a tongue wrestle with you for. Nigga, I ain't got no WWF championship belt in tongue wrestling. I'm not gonna tongue wrestle with you. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? Can you hear me? It's inevitable. All right. One thing real quick. I know we're doing a show, but I want people to listen because I've been hearing you the whole damn time. This is why I said, and this is why you call me I'm the hate. I'm the guy that hates on boxers. I'm the guy that hates on certain boxers. No, I don't hate on certain boxers. I hate boxers that think they're above every other boxer because they think that they've proven themselves that they're better. Tank Davis, like I say, and you already know how I feel about him, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, okay? Tank Davis has not proven himself. Fry's podcast 2 nights ago, I was on there. They said belts don't matter. And they had 4 older gentlemen, old crusty fools, just like you said, Coach. And they were right there with Coach Ford. And they were saying the same thing. Belts don't matter these days. That's what's wrong with our boxing. That's what's wrong with boxing right now. You got these type of people that bring in some kind of stuff in our boxing that we love, that we cherish, and they put and say the belts don't matter. D-Block, D-Town, D3, D-Bill, Baltimore, stand up.
Shout out D-Block. Hold on. Yeah, so I just sent somebody a message. Yeah, so I mean, again, that's what it is. I'm not in the arguing business. I'm not going to do that. I'm not me. For what? Why with some low IQ ass nigga? A bunch of these niggas on YouTube are low IQ as hell. I promise you they are. That's why I like insulting them. Because they are. They low IQ as hell. It's not an age thing. These some old low IQ niggas. Like they was young low IQ, and now they old low IQ. They in their 50s, 40s, someone maybe in their 60s, 30s, 20s. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm like Ply say, oh, you wanna argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. I can't argue with you. No, I'm not gonna argue with you. I had a nigga try to argue with me in the chat today. In OD Low chat. I have people try to argue with me on Twitter. I ain't even gonna respond back. I'm gonna say one thing and keep it moving. More than likely, I'm not gonna see what you're saying any goddamn ways. Not gonna give it that energy. Shout out to Abstract Nowhere. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said interesting point he made, but Top Rank wasn't winning the match hanging with Loma. That is true. Noah T.O. He said Noah T.O. and fans had no issue. No criticized Top Rank. I don't think so. A lot of fans did have issue with that. Fans had issue with that. That's not true. You know what I mean? There were fans that had issue with that. It probably wasn't certain fans, but yeah, fans did have issue with that. Absolutely. When I know I had an issue with it. I damn sure had an issue with it. So I mean, I don't agree with that. Now, was there people going to war about it online? You know what I mean? I wasn't on YouTube around that time, so I really don't know. I think that when I was a few years ago, about 3 years ago. I don't know. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Nate calling from Texas by way of New York. How you doing, Coach?
What's your name, Miss Phil?
It's Nate.
Oh, Nate calling from Texas by way of New York. Talk to me.
For sure. Did you just say niggas playing PlayStations, drinking their kids' juice boxes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a 2-part question. Now, we all know what happened between Tank and Mayweather Promotions. So my first question is, do you think Mayweather is a big part of it too? Should his name be mentioned on that list?
On what list?
My second part, where boxing is going right now, should more app platforms get in on the industry?
Yeah.
Where, fans pay per month. And maybe if it's a huge fight on a legendary, caliber level type of fight, maybe they still pay a little extra on their membership.
I mean, everything is on apps right now. Everything is on apps. I have a bunch of apps on my phone, and you can look at fights or whatever. I watch everything. I got the Zone. I be checking out snooker. I be checking out you can, you know what I mean? Like, whether you like it or not, I have ESPN Plus. I have quite a few. I have quite a few apps on my phone. So things are going to apps now. That's just where it's at. And
do you think it's going to help the sport?
The only thing that's going to help the sport is if the sport puts on the top fighters fighting each other. I don't think it's going to help the sport if you still have the same business model to where, hey, this guy on the wrong side of the street, we only going to keep everything in-house. We're going to put our star fighter in with the guy that's a 16-1 underdog. We're going to give you, it doesn't, it's not going to help the sport.
But money's part of the problem, right? Not to cut you off, but money's part of the problem, right?
What you mean money's part of the problem?
Shouldn't the app platform be helping the situation?
The app is not a network, so it's a place where it's going to host the actual fight. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say, and that's why I think the PBC is going to be all right. I think Al Heyman and them are going to be all right because they can create what they can do is they can create an app, a PBC app, and just put all their fights on there. You get what I'm saying? So, because he have over 200 fighters, almost 300 fighters, something like that. So if Al Heyman can create an app, a PBC app, he could put all his fights on there. So I don't think that the apps will, as long as he got the money or whoever his investors is have the money that's going to put the money up to pay the fighters. That's another thing too. I said this. I said I think the market probably need to reset itself because maybe some of these fighters, and I'm not the one to tell a fighter what they should and shouldn't get paid, but maybe some of these fighters were getting overpaid, and the market has to reset itself. And that's so a fighter won't be wanting $20 and $30 million or $15, $20 million to fight a non-top guy. You get what I'm saying? So, but I think the apps help.
The whole Spence and Crawford fight, I believe that Spence to win. Me personally, but I can understand Crawford feeling like he need more in the bag.
We don't know. Again, we don't know. This is what we know. Neither one of us is in their negotiations, and I hate talking about this Crawford Spence shit because it's Team Spence, team versus Team Crawford. And there's nothing I'm going to say to change your mind because you think a certain way. Nothing that you're going to say to change my mind, I think a certain way. So we just agree to disagree. That's what we're going to agree on. But the fact of the matter is this. I will say this. That fight is not going to happen. It hasn't happened. We haven't had it yet. So whoever you want to believe, whatever you want to think, it doesn't matter. The end result is we don't have the fight. I totally agree with this article. This guy said right here that, note to promoters, we need these fights in 2023. Note to promoters. The power brokers in boxing. Number one on the list, he said Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. There's no reason why we shouldn't have got that fight. I don't want to hear no shit about Bob Arum, one leg Tyrone, whatever. I don't hear nothing about none of that. Or Al Heyman. They could have made that fight. Al Heyman, Bob Arum and Don King hated each other. Bob Arum and Don King sued each other. Bob Arum and Don King, there are rumors that they tried to kill each other before. Guess what they did? They worked together to make fights.
Right. Now, okay, so second part of that, where is Floyd, not only as the promoter, but as the fighter? Where is he involved in that article? And I'll leave you with that.
What you mean?
All right, thanks for the call, Coach.
Okay, all right, shout out to you, fam. Shout out to Nate from Texas. I don't understand what the brother mean. Where is Floyd involved in this article? I guess. Well, Floyd Mayweather's not a promoter. That's one. Floyd Mayweather's not a promoter. Floyd Mayweather is, like Money May, is a personality. Yet now we do know he was a boxer. As a promoter, he had Ashley Theo Payne, he had Badu Jack, he had what the dude name is, Jalen Love. He had Mickey Bay at one point. As a promoter, Floyd wasn't a great promoter at all. They struck lightning in the bottle when they got Tank Davis. Tank Davis had a following already from Baltimore. Tank Davis was like a phenom coming out of Baltimore. It wasn't like when they got Tank Davis, he was just a nobody fighter. Didn't nobody know who he was. No, Tank was popping coming out of B-More. But as it relates to Floyd Mayweather's role, their business model was, we have a like I said before, Mayweather Promotions, in the PBC. We're like one big happy family. Why I don't believe in making another promoter rich. So Floyd Mayweather's philosophy was he don't believe in making another promoter rich, this and that, and he used that business model to keep his fighter from fighting other fighters with different promotional companies and networks. Even though Floyd fought other fighters when he was a fighter, that was with different promotional companies. And then when he left Bob Arum, he was in his Floyd Mayweather was essentially a Golden Boy fighter, because who promoted all Floyd fights when he left Top Rank? Oscar De La Hoya. So what he practices, he practiced one thing, but he's preaching another. The only thing I can say that I can probably maybe put on Floyd a little, and I can't even put this on Floyd. Floyd had a marketing, his marketing brand was, I'm TVE. I got all the money. I beat more world champions than anybody. He had more of a braggadocious image, my braggadocious personality. You get what I'm saying? I'm the A-side, and he learned that when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. Because Oscar De La Hoya A-sided him to death in order for him to make that fight. 70-30, he took 30%. Oscar chose the size of the ring, all of that stuff. He did all of that. And then Floyd knew what he was getting paid, and Floyd got paid a guarantee. Floyd got paid a guarantee, plus he got a percentage of the pay-per-view. And then after he became Money Mayweather, after he beat Oscar De La Hoya, then he became that character, that personality, and that's what he did to all the other fighters who tried to fight him, and so who he fought after that. The problem is a lot of these guys want to be Floyd Mayweather, but they don't want to go through the Pretty Boy Floyd phase. They want to be Money May, but don't want to go through the Pretty Boy Floyd phase. Pretty Boy Floyd gave birth to Money Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya was the bridge that made the transition from Pretty Boy to Money May. And Bob Arum, if it wasn't for Bob Arum, we probably wouldn't have no goddamn Money Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather, because Bob Arum gave him his start. Oscar De La Hoya got his start from who? Bob Arum. If you look at a lot of the great fighters that's boxing, that retired and all that stuff there, guess what? They came from Top Rank. How many Hall of Fame fighters that's in the Hall of Fame that came from Top Rank? And Don King Promotions. So when I look at it overall from a historical standpoint, I'm like, nah, man, I ain't crazy about Bob myself. But I'm like, man, you know what, man? Look at all these top guys that came out of there. Your favorite fighter, Floyd Mayweather, was a top-ranked fighter. And when he left a millionaire. Those are the facts. And when he made the transition, guess what? He had to work with the Mexican-American boy named Oscar De La Hoya from Golden Boy. So he didn't do it by himself. But the pivot back with what the brother was saying, Floyd is part of the problem as well when Tank was over there. He is a part of the problem because of his fight. He wouldn't allow Tank to fight Lomachenko. He wouldn't allow Tank to fight Teofimo Lopez. He wouldn't allow Tank to fight these other top guys that was in the lightweight division. So Floyd is a part of that problem as well as a promoter. He wanted to keep everything in-house. Mayweather Promotions in the PBC. We're like one big happy family. We have a plethora of fighters over here with Mayweather Promotions in the PBC. I don't believe in making another promoter rich. We have a plethora of fighters from 130, 135 to 140 who Tank Davis can fight. So yeah, you're right about that. Floyd played a major role in that. That brother made a valid point. Floyd played a major role in that. He did. Shout out to Nathaniel, man. What's going on, fam? He said Coach hit the nail on the head. He said I didn't know Floyd went to Pretty Boy Promotion. Yeah, just look at when he left when he went to Top Rank. Who was the promoter of his fights? So they talk all that trash about Oscar, but guess what? They talk trash about Oscar and Bob, but guess what? Listen, who gave birth to some of your favorite fighters? Who gave birth to them? Who gave birth to him? We need to do a show on that alone. Since they like to talk about promotional companies and this and that, yada, 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 yada. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, how many Hall of Famers have these promotional companies produced? Let's look at them. Let's go back and do it. We need to do a show on that, guys. Look at all the promotional companies that's around right now and look at some of the fighters that's in the Hall of Fame or who have storied careers or that's in the Hall of Fame right now. Which promotional companies did they fight for? That's why I don't want to hear anything about, Bob, Oscar, Al Heyman can't work together, different networks and stuff like that. Bruh, Don King and Bob Arum hated each other. And they still found a way to work together to bring us the best fights. If Don King and Bob Arum can work together, what's the excuse that's going on today? There is none. There is none. You get what I'm saying? So I can't resonate with these talking points. And there's a disconnect with me and the modern social media boxing fan. There's a disconnect with me and them. Because I'm old enough to know better. And the reason why I'm hard on the old crusties, because the old crusties should be old enough to know better. They should be old enough to know better. But the old crusties have changed their position as well. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. So all this other stuff just don't make any sense to me. You get what I'm saying? Let me get to the chat. Shout out to Arm. What you say, Arm? You say sounds like a great show. Hey, Arm, that's good. That will be a great show. So if you see another content creator doing it, you know it came from me. You know it came from me. Have you seen any of these other content creators do it? And it doesn't matter if they do it or not. You know they got that idea from me. I just want to do a show on all of these fans who hate all of these different promotional companies and stuff like that, and to say, okay, let's see how many Hall of Fame fighters came out of that from that promotional company. And the fighters who you love so much, because y'all like to praise Floyd Mayweather so much, but guess what? And y'all like to defecate on Bob Arum. But if it wasn't for Bob Arum, you wouldn't know who Floyd Mayweather is. True. Shit, if it wasn't for Golden Boy, you wouldn't know who Money May is. True. You can give all the credit to Al Heyman that you want to, and that's what Floyd does. Give all the credit to Al Heyman. But I remember seeing Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar De La Hoya on stage, Richard Schaefer on stage, Shane Mosley, when he fought Shane Mosley, and Bernard Hopkins, Tom Brown, Al Heyman over there with Golden Boy. Yeah, Al Heyman over there with Golden Boy. I remember that. Sam Watson, them over there. I remember that. Shout out to Lou. Lou, what's going on, fam? I remember that. There's videos out right now. Go look at when Floyd Mayweather fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Look and see who was on stage at the press conference. When Floyd Mayweather fought Sugar Shane Mosley, look and see who was on stage at the press conference. All those fighters were Golden Boy fighters. Marcos Maidana, that was a Golden Boy fighter. We're talking about before PBC even came into existence in 2015. They forget about that, though. They forget about that. They forget all about that. They want to sit here and argue and tongue wrestle. I'm like, yeah, y'all forget all about that. Because they so narrative driven, they so narrow-minded and narrative driven. See, this is the thing too, right? And the confirmation bias, they lack critical thinking skills. It is what it is. So they don't want to talk about that. They're all over the place, right? See, I remember right when Booger Ray Leonard was massaging Floyd Mayweather's nipples in the corner. When Floyd was fighting on Top Rank, that's what Leonard Ellaby was doing. It makes me laugh when I see the she-goes and the fag now, like, oh, Leonard Ellaby, they hold Leonard in such a high regard. I'm like, for what? For doing this?
can last forever. Don't let our love be.
That's what I remember Leonard Ellaby doing. I remember Leonard Ellaby doing that. Leonard, are you biting your bottom lip, Leonard? I remember Leonard biting his bottom lip, rubbing on Floyd Mayweather's chest. With those bedroom eyes. Oh, that's Leonard Ellaby. That's Leonard Ellaby, man. Ooh, we got a whole Leonard Ellaby in high regard. I'm like, no, Leonard, I remember when you was carrying the spit bucket, boy. That's what I remember. You was too big MC to MC Hammer. You was Flavor Flav to Chuck D. You was Spliff Star to Busta Rhymes. You was the hype man. That's who you was. I remember that, Leonard. I remember that. I remember a time, Leonard, where you was in love with the Zone, Eddie Hearn. When you and Eddie Hearn was friends. I remember all of that. A lot of people, forget. They forget. A lot of this stuff I remember. You get what I'm saying? So, that's why I don't get caught up. That's why I don't get caught up in what's going on. Shout out to the boss's mind. He said, Coach, do you think it'd be a good idea for PBC to go to Netflix? Just whatever. They can go to Netflix. Again, Al Heyman is a smart guy. I think Al could probably create. I think Al probably should create a PBC app. To be honest with you, I think Al should create a PBC app because you already got a brand, the PBC. Just create an app and have everybody who pro PBC. They pro PBC, and and you can still run around robin like you want to on your app. And those guys who was against apps yesterday, I bet if Al Heyman get an app, they're gonna be pro app today. Cause they change, their minds. They so fickle. They mind change like the weather. They can go to Netflix. I don't know how that'll work out, but I think that they should just create their own app. That's what I would do. I think they should create their own app. Create their own app. That's what I think. You know what I mean? Create your own app. And guess what? But you can create your own app. But it ain't gonna matter if you still ain't gonna get the people. Like, how you gonna market these fighters? Like, how you gonna market them? You still gotta give people the matchups that they want, that they want. Because if you don't get them the matchups that they want, they ain't gonna buy. So maybe they can do a subscription base. Like the same thing that Leonard Ellaby and even Top Rank has made mockery of the Zone for doing. They doing the same thing. Y'all do know that ESPN is an app. The Zone is an app, and they have a plethora of different sports on their platform. I'm just saying, B, it's an app. Everything going to apps. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I think they should do. Just get them. I think Al should get maybe, get them just get them PBC app. PBC app. And if you think something same thing the Zone doing. If you think something pay-per-view worthy, okay, you're gonna pay so much dollars for the app, and we gonna put this fight on pay-per-view plus your subscription. And then you'll see. Cause ain't nobody, you'll see. Are they gonna buy the pay-per-views? Cause they ain't buying no pay-per-views. Ain't nobody buying that shit. You ain't giving nobody no good product. Call what's your name, where you calling from?
Yeah, what's going on, man? This is Junior. I'm calling from New Hampshire.
Junior from New Hampshire, talk to me.
Yeah, I got a question. I know you're talking about the PBC, Al Heyman, and all that nonsense going on. But what you think about this Mauricio Sulaiman fight coming up?
Oh man, I love it. I'm going to talk about her tomorrow. Talk about her tomorrow and Friday.
Oh, all right,
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Mauricio Sulaiman. I'm a big fan of women's boxing. There's a lot that I didn't know about women's boxing. I learned a lot from listening to my main man, Ring IQ, Jules, because that dude there is probably one of the most well-versed boxing minds on social media. So when it comes to the women's boxing, I get my education from him, to be honest with you. But
likewise, man. Honestly, that's why I started listening to him. Yeah. And I picked up on this women's boxing, and I noticed Mauricio Sulaiman in her last fight. I'm like, yo, this girl's a savage.
Yeah.
So when I saw she was fighting again, like coming up, I'm like, I got to hear what you got to say about this fight, though, because I appreciate your boxing knowledge, you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, we did a fight. Check this out. We did a fight party for at least, it was Katie, no, it's Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. We did a fight party for that. I was excited. That was fight of the year for me last year. Also, we did another fight 100%. Party last year with Carissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Alicia Baumgartner, and Michaela Meyer. We did a fight party for that. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoy women's boxing. I really enjoy women's boxing. I do.
I dig it, man. Because one thing I like about the women's boxers, man, it seems like it's not like how the men are going now. It's like, oh, you want this whole hiding behind this person, hiding behind that. Mm-hmm. It seems more like with women's boxing, they're like, so you want to fight? All right, cool. Let's make it happen then.
Yeah.
And that's the thing for me personally that I starting to appreciate more about women's boxing. They're not scared to get in the ring and fight anybody.
Yeah, women's boxing and MMA.
You ain't lying, man.
And MMA, man. Like, man, you know, these dudes that's getting in there, man. And yeah, they may not be getting paid like, you know, well, the average boxer only make $40,000 a year. That's the average fighter.
Yeah.
Everybody, it ain't a bunch of Canelos, Crawfords, Errol Spence.
Yeah, that's Tyson, the top 1%, man. That's the very few people make that much.
Yeah. People go to talking about, yeah, man, fighters in boxing make way more money than MMA. I'm like, no, not really. I mean, when you look at the top guys, you can say that, yeah, but when you look at the rest of it, the average fighter is an average blue collar fighter. Them dudes ain't making no hell of money like that. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, but listen, hey, thank you for calling in, brother, man. Junior from New Hampshire.
Nah, but I'll let you go, man. You know what I mean? I just want, so you said you're going to be talking about that fight tomorrow and Friday, right?
Yeah, so tomorrow, Friday, and we're going to do a fight. And that fight is in New York, right?
Yeah, it's in New York.
Yeah, we're doing a fight party. Absolutely.
All right, say less, man. I'm appreciate watching you tomorrow and Friday talking about this.
Yes, sir. Salute. Yeah, man. We're going to do a fight party. I want to say, you say, in my opinion, you say apps not regulated, coach. Salute to in my opinion. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your foot, boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, where the brother at? The brother said, the brother corrected me. He said ESPN Plus is an app, not ESPN. He's right about that. ESPN Plus. I have ESPN. Oh, you know what, though? Oh, I got ESPN on my, let me see. I got the ESPN app on my phone right here. I have the ESPN app on my phone. Let me see. Yeah, I got the ESPN app on my phone. And then you click inside ESPN. And then when you click inside ESPN, then they got ESPN Plus right there. You can click on ESPN Plus. But ESPN is a network. It is a network, but I get what you're saying, though. Shout out to my sister, man, Lisa Bells. Hey, okay. For dropping that. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Yeah, I got ESPN, the app on my phone. Shout out to my sister, Lisa, man. Salute to you, sis. Thank you for dropping that dub on me, Lisa. I appreciate that. Yeah. I just thought about it. I just thought about it. I said, I got the app on my damn phone. Hey, matter of fact, we just watched the fight last weekend on the phone, on the app. Shout out to Chance Dawson. He said, how you doing, sir? I'm doing good, fam. Salute, my brother. Hey, shout out to Chance. What's going on, fam? Salute to you, fam. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Again, I totally agree with this article, guys. As a matter of fact, let me drop this article for you. Let me drop this article for you guys. And this article is called, hold on. So you guys can have it, keep it. You probably want to put it in your, you know what I mean? Put it in your archives or whatever. I'm gonna drop this for you guys. I bookmarked this because I want to use this as a talking point. Just in case. You know, you might get somebody who want to argue, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. I send it to them. I send it to the 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 guys. That's what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying? When they go to talking that flim flam, popping that week, you know, when they go to talking that flim flam, popping that week, want to argue with me, when they want to argue, you guys know me, I don't do no arguing. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna argue with you. You know what I mean? Living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm not going back and forth with you niggas. Not me. I'm not going to do it. Let's give everybody a round of applause. No, sir, we ain't going to do it, man. We not going to go back and forth with it, man.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
No, sir, man. It is what it is. Once again, it's on, man. Hey, shout out to everyone who called into the show. Let's go ahead and do it like this here. Shout out to Errol from Texas.
Well, you know, I guess I got to be like everybody else and saying Al Heyman.
Shout out to Errol from Texas. Hey, okay. Shout out to Stanley from Connecticut. Hey, shout out to my main man, Willie Cole, the pimp. putting his game down, macking and stacking. Shout out to Willie Cole from Houston. Shout out to T113 from Jersey. Shout out to Martin from Oakland. Oaktown, stand up. Shout out to D Block from Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Impost TV, salute fam. Shout out to my brother Major Key Bossa from the O Orlando. Shout out to unbiased fan Stephen Ridley. Salute to you fam from Connecticut. Shout out to boxing scientists from California. Shout out to Electro Jared from New Mexico. Shout out to Nate from Texas. And shout out to Junior from New Hampshire. So what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna hang in there with our brother Blue. Ain't nobody gonna switch. Shout out to Mr. Warren in the building. We ain't gonna switch out on Blue. Y'all said he was a real one yesterday. Guess what? He a real one today. The same dudes who dissing him today, y'all was in love with him yesterday. So guess what? We gonna just hang in there with Blue. Hang in there with him. And maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come back to defecate on Crawford later on and to win you guys' favorite back. I don't know. Maybe he'll do that. I don't know. But I'm saying, but until then, y'all hang in there with him. If he was a real one yesterday and he wasn't clickbaiting yesterday, don't sit back and say today he ain't a real one and he clickbaiting today. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where they do that at, man? True. Now, where they do that at? No, he ain't gonna do that there, man. We ain't gonna do that there. You feel me?
Am I the meanest?
Show enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Show enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Show enough.
Well, who am I?
Show enough.
Who am I?
Show enough.
I can't hear you.
Show enough.
Shogun of Harlem.
Shout out to Rockabye Seattle, man.
Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived.
I ain't get. You know what? I love Sugar Ray Robinson. You gotta know that. Sugar Ray Robinson, man. It is what it is for me, man. Shout out to Rocky Marciano.
What about Rocky Marciano?
Oh, there they go. There they go. Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. That's the one. That's the one. Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano. Let me tell you something wonderful. Rocky Marciano was good, but compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano ain't shit.
He beat Joe Louis's ass.
And also, shout out to my dog, Booger Ray. Booger Ray, let us know about those stars that you have over there at Mayweather Promotions.
And who's the next big star under Mayweather Promotions? Ooh, we have quite a few young guns, as I say, you know, and I don't want to leave any names out, but we have a great roster of young talent, and we've been very selective about what we're doing, you know, again, because when you have, you know, an abundance of fighters, it's hard to kind of focus on. When a big fight is to be made, it has to make sense for both sides. No promoter or company is going to put their guy in an event with everything to lose and nothing to gain, especially when we're talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Interesting.
Interesting. Hey, shout out to Brian Custer, man. You know, I got that from Brian Custer now. Interesting. Was somebody telling me some bullshit? That's what I say. Interesting.
You wish you could work it the way I do, but you can't. You're begging me not to leave you, and I refuse to let you go.
Sir,
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
For those who love networks and promotional companies more than you love seeing your favorite fighters fight the top guys and love the sport of boxing, this is for you.
Don't ever come by here. Okay?
This for the broke fighter who looking for a shot, but the champ ducking.
Now, I am the #1 contender. I'm tired of James the Poodle, Grim Reaper, whatever you want to call himself, ducking me. All right, I'm tired of man driving around town in 8 Rolls Royces. He ain't fought nobody. I'm still in a bro hand.
He ain't fought nobody.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Go ahead, ask me a question. Did you?
Hey man, listen. You got 2 belts. When you go fight the other guy, become undisputed. I plead the 5th. I plead the 5th. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you say, 5. Are y'all gonna fight later? Go ahead, ask me a question. 5. Yeah, man. Anything you say, 5. Boy, you talking crazy.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all.
Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Put some respect on my name.
You know what, man? You know what we gotta do? In order to grow the sport of boxing, we're gonna have to collect.
I run every kind of bitch, every kind of place, and I know one thing. When it comes down on you, you either collectivize or you run like a solitary rat.
Shout out to my dog Riley, man.
Fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
And if I ask your favorite fighter, hey man, when you gonna fight Citizen? You said you were gonna fight him about 2-3 years ago. If I ask your fighter that and he start doing this, he
we
done.
Must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate, to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation.
Hey man, look here, man. Shout out to my dog Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo ain't decking nobody. He want to fight. He like to say the names. You feel me? He like
we
that.
The Charlo twins, we known for calling everybody out.
Please call these people out. Listen, the whole world's looking at you. Call these people out,
What's up? It's the Jamal the Hitman Charlo. Let's get it. Who want it?
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
Mexican monster.
Mello.
So these niggas be threatening me in the chat sometimes.
Stop. No. I'm trying to break this up, Cassandra. He was tough online in my comment section on Instagram. Now he quiet now that we face to face. No, look at my eyes and reflect, player. Keep that same energy, playboy.
It is what it is, man. And guess what? Tell the Mexican monster, the Mexican monster, he can get it too.
Move up in weight class, go up to 168, challenge this man for all the marbles.
The Mexican monster, yeah.
The Mexican. You keep throwing that up every time
I remember the guy was everybody scared of that guy. You talking a lot of shit. That's all I want you to say about.
Hey, man, you know, I want my fighters doing this.
Now, do you retire or do you take one of the toughest fights of your career against a young black African-American stud who's been working his ass off since he was 8 years old? Do my brother put it out on the line then? So, if not, then come see me. I want some smoke. I want it all, baby.
Hey, shout out to AB, man. We don't know if he gonna have a fight or not. I don't know, man. I'm hearing a whole lot of crazy stuff, man. But shout out to AB, man.
Turn around.
No, before we end the show, I think we need to end it on a high note. Shout out to my dog, Booger Ray Leonard and Eddie the Hitman Hearns. You feel me?
Sunshine when Tank's gone.
I'll smack the shit out in front of everybody.
Only dark times for you.
I mean, just throw Haney's name in the hat. There is no fucking hat.
Ain't no sunshine when Tank's gone.
I don't play them type of games.
Leonard L.B. Why you always talking about me?
Didn't you fucking learn your lesson from that? With AJ?
Ain't no sunshine when Tank's gone.
I'll knock that motherfucker's hole out. Period.
Only dark times for you.
Ain't no hats to throw nothing in here. We're running a fucking business.
Ain't no sunshine when Tank's gone.
You fucking idiot.
Leonard L.B. Why you always talking about?
Hey, I heard you be put in jail for that, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank y'all for rocking with the old boy, man. You know my motto: don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Let's go.